हेलो।
हाँ बोलो।
एक मिनट आउन नो। हाँ, सुनाई दे रहा है तो?
एकदम।
ठीक है सर, ठीक है। हाँ, हेलो।
हम्म।
सुनाई दे रहा है तो?
हाँ
बस बस, ठीक है, ठीक है, ओके।
हाँ बोलो।
और कुछ नहीं बोलना है सर, यही बोलना था।
टाइम पास करने के लिए किया बस।
सुनाई दे रहा है तो?
एकदम।
ठीक है सर, ठीक है।
हो कोई आ नहीं रहा है, सब आएगा तो कि भूल गया सब? गुणवंत से तभी बात हुआ। देव जी ठीक है अभी? डिम लाइट। विनोद भाई गुड मॉर्निंग।
गुड मॉर्निंग।
बोल रहे हैं इसका नाम थोड़ा चेंज कर लीजिए, बबीता हुमगई लिखा हुआ है।
हाँ वो चेंज हो जाएगा अभी।
बा- छुट्टी के दिन सुबह सुबह एड्रेस करने तन्मय का मेडिकल इमरजेंसी हो गया।
ओके, तो मेरे को वही एड्रेस देना है ना जो लिखा है। मेरे यहाँ पे एक नेटवर्क का इशू है, तो इन केस वो होता है तो मैं वीडियो ऑफ कर दूंगा, बट आई विल गिव द एड्रेस।
अच्छा ठीक है, डन।
क्योंकि घर पे हूँ ना, तो अभी भी मैं हॉटस्पॉट से कनेक्ट किया है। ये
अच्छा,
नेट तो है लेकिन ये रूम के अंदर।
हम लोग तो मेरे रूम के पीछे बैनर पैनल लगा के
ओ, ठीक है।
शूटिंग चल रहा है, रिम लाइट
ऐसे
लगा के।
करके बैनर पीछे पीछे भी रखा जा सकता है, ऐसे ही कर सकते हैं शायद। यहाँ पे कुछ ऑप्शंस है।
हाँ वो मैंने उसका बैकग्राउंड में उसका बैनर क्रिएट करना होगा, अपना इमेज के साथ,
राइट।
बंगाल चैम्बर का। तो हम लोग और ये थीम एड्रेस के बाद भी और कुछ बोलना चाहेंगे?
क्या चाहते हैं आप क्या चाहते हो, क्या बोलो?
कुछ
इफ दे
नहीं,
हैव एनी क्वेश्चंस आई कैन टेक वन और टू।
क्वेश्चंस कोई नहीं पूछ पाएगा, कहीं कि जितने स्पीकर हैं सिर्फ वही लोग जूम में लॉग इन करेंगे। बाकी ये
हाँ
ऑनलाइन ये हो रहा है, टेलीकास्ट हो रहा है।
ओके। नहीं वो
तो देखते रहेंगे।
आप लोग ही क्वेश्चन
ठीक है,
इफ यू वांट वन और
जब
टू
खत्म हो
आंसर।
जाएगा, मैंने एड्रेस आपका खत्म हो जाएगा तो
हाँ
ऐसे ही थोड़ा सा एक दो लाइन पूछ लेंगे वाओ मोमो ब्रांड के बारे में, है ना?
ठीक है ठीक है।
अब वेट किया जाए डॉक्टर लवी राजगुप्ता।
हम्म
ये डॉक्टर लवी राजगुप्ता एक मैंने फर्स्ट टाइम है एलपीयू से जो कि एड्रेस कर रहे हैं। इसके पीछे राजर्षि भी काफी दिनों से पड़ी हुई थी।
तो वो एड्रेस कौन सा कर रहे हैं, वो क्या मेरे पहले कर रहे हैं कि मेरे बाद?
नहीं नहीं, बाद में एज अ
अच्छा
गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर उनको इनवाइट किया गया है।
अच्छा, ग्रेट
तो
ग्रेट।
वो जो है एक टॉपिक भी दिए हैं मिलेनियल माइंडसेट बोल के, तो
हाँ
हमको
मैं
लगता
देख रहा
है, हाँ तो अगर एक टॉपिक पे एड्रेस करेंगे तो हमको लगता है 10 मिनट तो खींचेंगे।
था। हाँ प्रोफेसर है तो खींचेंगे।
नहीं, प्रो बीसी है ये, प्रोफेसरी करते हैं कि नहीं ये नहीं पता। राजर्षि ये प्रोफेसरी भी करते हैं क्या? बाकी लोग लगता है खाली लॉगिन करके भाग गया है क्या सभी लोग? टाइम हो रहा है इनका, एक सेकंड पता करते हैं। अरे तुम लोग सब लॉगिन करके भाग गए होगा, कोई आवाज नहीं दे रहा है। अरे आवाज नहीं दे रहा, राजर्षि कहाँ भाग गई है बात? उससे विनोद भाई बात कर रहे थे तो
हाँ
है।
गुड मॉर्निंग सर, हम थोड़ा उस फोन में उनको
हाँ हाँ
हाँ गुड
विनोद
मॉर्निंग विनोद
रशी
सर।
आ गई है।
एक्चुअली हम थोड़ा एक बार फॉलो अप कर ले रहे थे कि वो 10:30 ज्वाइन कर ले कि नहीं।
हाँ तो वही बात कर
एलपीयू
रहे थे
वाला तो
हम
बोला कि
लोग
10:30 ज्वाइन कर जाएंगे। सुनाई दे रहा है तो?
हाँ तो नहीं दे रहा है। तो यही बातचीत अभी हम लोग कर रहे थे कि यही कि तुम काफी दिन से पीछे पड़ी हुई थी, फाइनली जो है लवली प्रोफेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी को हम लोग पकड़ पाए। बंगाल चैम्बर भी काफी दिन से लगा हुआ था लेकिन इफेक्टिवली कन्वर्ट हो नहीं रहा था। एलपीयू का अपना बहुत नखड़ा है, बाप रे बाप। वो लोग अभी ज्वाइन नहीं किए इसलिए डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, बट एनीवेज राजेश मुंडी में चढ़ के डांस वांस करके उनको पकड़ के तो ले आई है।
नहीं आगे
लेकिन
तो
बात यह है कि ये प्रोफेसर है ना, खाली प्रो वीसी हैं। राइट,
उसके नाम में तो है डॉक्टर प्रोफेसर।
डॉक्टर है हाँ, तब तो मिलेनियल माइंडसेट में ये हमको लगता है 10-15 मिनट जो है प्रोफेसर साहब बोलेंगे। इनका कोऑर्डिनेशन में वहाँ पे जो है एक और बंदा था, क्या मिस्टर अरोरा करके, क्या
अरोरा,
क्या
हाँ
नाम है
उनसे
जी उनका?
अरोरा, उसको ही
तो
हम अभी
हमको
फोन।
लगता है वो भी ज्वाइन करेंगे।
ठीक है।
वनीत
तो
वनीत
विनोद भाई, इनसे भी कुछ, जब मिलियनर माइंडसेट का बोल बाल देंगे तो इनसे भी एक आध क्वेश्चन दाग दिया जाएगा क्या?
हाँ, कर सकते हो।
देख लीजिए पहले ये बोलना क्या चाह रहे हैं, किस तरह का कंफर्ट है। तो यही सब है। कल शुभदीप के साथ डिटेल में बातचीत हो रहा था, तो उसको हम लोग अपना वो दिल्ली वैली का सब प्लान बता दिए, कि काफी एक्साइटेड है।
ओके।
एक बार बाद में हम लोग इसको
ओके।
स्ट्रक्चर करके करेंगे। इसको इधर कर दो।
हाँ, उसको उसको एक प्रॉपर एक स्ट्रक्चर में सजाना जरूरी है।
हम्म।
तो
अच्छा, एक और चीज हम देख रहे थे विनोद भाई, ये है कि कुछ कुछ चेंबर जो है ना एकदम एक्सक्लूसिव जो है, वुमेन कॉन्क्लेव करके करे, जैसे हम लोग वुमेन फेयर बोल रहे हैं, उसी तरह वुमेन कॉन्क्लेव करके भी बहुत लोग कर रहा है। तो एक बार हम
हम्म।
लोग डिस्कस किया जाएगा कि हम लोग का जो प्लान है, माने जो दिसंबर का और जो जून का, उसी में हाफ डे जो है सिर्फ वुमेन के ऊपर भी अगर फोकस करें हम लोग, वुमेन कॉन्क्लेव, क्योंकि हमारा तो सेक्शन है वुमेन का, तो
हम्म।
ये भी काफी अच्छा माने ब्रांडिंग इसका हो सकता है।
हाँ, देख सकते हैं उसमें, बिकॉज एक्चुअली क्या है कि ऑलरेडी लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर डूइंग इट, नो, तो हम लोग को ये भी देखना चाहिए कि यार हम लोग भी वो सेम चीज नहीं करें वो जो कर रहे हैं। हम
करेक्ट,
कुछ
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 डिफरेंस
कुछ
चाहिए।
अलग करें। जब आप रिकग्निशन दे रहे हो तो यू आर गिविंग इट टू वुमेन्स आल्सो स्पेशल।
हम्म।
तो उसको प्रमोट करने का तरीका, जो मार्केटिंग करने का तरीका, उसको थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट कर सकते हैं, सो दैट इट फॉल्स इन लाइन, कि हाँ जो
हम्म,
करना चाहते हैं और द इम्पैक्ट भी अच्छा हो और उससे अच्छा ब्रांडिंग भी मिले।
ठीक है। तो गेट ब्लॉक हो रहा है।
बीसीसीआई का झंडा कहाँ से लेके आए आप?
एजेंडा नहीं हम लोग का, ये है स्टैंडी है।
ये स्टैंडी है क्या?
हाँ,
अच्छा, दो स्टैंडी है।
दो तो स्टैंडी लगा दिए।
हाँ।
कोऑर्डिनेटेड रहना, कोऑर्डिनेटेड रहना, जैसे ही लाइट पूरा होगा। Welcome, Dr. Gupta.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, sir.
Welcome, Dr. Gupta. I'm Kumar Shivam. I'm from Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And with me is my colleague Rajeshi Mukherjee. So
Good morning.
Rajeshi was regularly in touch with Lovely Professional University.
Sure.
And thank you, sir, for confirming for today. So
A pleasure is all mine because, it is all about children we all work for.
yeah, thank you so much, sir. In fact, for quite some time, we were trying to be in touch with Lovely Professional University because there are a lot of activities we are doing in East India, which is
Alright.
primarily for class 11 and 12 students. So
Wonderful.
after this program, it will be wonderful if we can, connect more on this. So we'll talk about that later on.
See, with me, I have Mr. Vineet Arora,
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Arora.
who looks after, all these engagements, industry-oriented engagement, chamber, FICCI, SHM kind of engagements. So Vineet is very much there. And post this dialogue or discussion, you can start interacting with Vineet.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Arora, for joining. Achha, now we need to go live, so I'll just give you a brief. In this Zoom panel, we have kept only the speakers.
Good morning, Mr. Gupta. Good morning, Mr.
Yeah,
Vineet.
sorry. With us
Good
is
morning.
Mr. Vinod Kumar Homagai.
I'm Mr.
He is
Vinod
the-
from Wow Momo.
He is the co-chairperson of the Entrepreneurs Committee of Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and he is the co-founder of Wow Momo.
Mhm.
Wow, it is like a chain. We have got Wow Momo, Wow China, then Wow Chicken. So we'll be learning more about Wow Momo when he'll be speaking. Only one thing is Mr. Tanmay Banerjee is not able to join because he had some medical emergency. So just now he called. He's the chairperson. So sir, now we need to go live. So I'm just giving a brief. Like in this console, you will see only the speakers are available, nobody else. So the format is like whatever we are interacting, it is going live on YouTube and Facebook. And whatever questions will be coming, so they will be coming on YouTube and Facebook. So my colleagues will be giving the questions, and some of the questions maybe we can take up. So here in the console will be only speakers.
Before we go live, can I check my screen share because I've created some
Yes, sure.
small slides for children, because that will be more engaging. Let
Yes,
me just
yes,
check whether I can do that.
please.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
And in the show mode,
Yes.
it's visible in the show mode. Yeah, that's
Yes.
great.
Yes. Yes.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Perfect. I'll share it then when it starts.
Okay, sir. So we are going live. Good morning, friends. Welcome back to our program, which is the third edition of Next Gen Personality and Career Development Online Summit. And this is a monthly series wherein we have already conducted two series, and this is the third series where in the audience primarily we have students, we have parents, we have professionals, we have society in general. And today we are very fortunate as a guest of honor. We have with us Dr. Lavi Raj Gupta, Pro Vice Chancellor of Lovely Professional University, Punjab. So thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
So formally, now let us start the program. And one thing is today we were supposed to have Mr. Tanmay Banerjee, who is the chairperson of the Entrepreneurs Committee of Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and director of RT Network Solutions Private Limited, to address us, to give his welcome address. But suddenly he had a medical emergency, so he was not able to make it. So with us, we have now to give his team address and welcome you all, Mr. Vinod Kumar Homagai. He is the co-chairperson of the Entrepreneurs Committee of Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and he is the co-founder and COO of Wow Momo Foods Private Limited. Welcome, Mr. Homagai.
Thank you, Mr. Shivam. Thank you. So we
So,
start.
sir, yes, sir, we can. I think you are not visible. Is it some problem with the network?
There is little problem with the wristwatch. That's why I've kept my this video off so that
Okay,
my
sir. Okay, sir.
communication becomes very clear.
Absolutely, sir. Please, if you can kindly give your address.
So, good morning, students. Good morning, everyone. So, today it gives me immense pleasure to address an incredible, important topic today that holds the potential to shape the future of each and every student who had joined online to watch the online summit. Today, we will deliver into the realm of next gen personality and career development for students in class 11 and 12. As we embark on this journey together, let us first acknowledge the rapidly changing world we live in. The job market is evolving at an unprecedented pace, with new industries emerging and traditional ones transforming. In such a dynamic landscape, it is crucial for our young mind to be prepared, adaptable, and equipped with the necessary skill to thrive. Personality development forms the foundation of success in both personal and professional lives. It encompasses various facets such as self awareness, self confidence, effective communication, and emotional intelligence. Developing a well rounded personality allows us to build meaningful relationships, take on leadership role, and seize opportunities that comes our way. Now let us explore the path to discovering our interest and strength. Each one of you possesses unique talent and passion waiting to be discovered. Take the time to explore your interest, engage in hobbies, and nurture your passion. Seek out tools and assessment that can assist in understanding your aptitudes and strength. By aligning these with potential career paths, you pave the way for a fulfilling and rewarding journey. Career exploration is a thrilling expend- expedition into the world of possibilities. We live in an era where career choices extend far beyond the conventional ones. New horizons are constantly being unveiled, and it is essential for you to be aware of the plethora of options available. Research, inquire, and gather knowledge about the career that ignite your curiosity. Look into emerging fields, those that align with future trends to stay ahead of the curve. Setting goal is an integral towards a in short term and long term. Define your objectives and then develop a roadmap to attain them. Break down these goals into the actionable steps, allowing you to move steadily forward while overcoming obstacles that may come your way. Skills are the building block of success. In highly competitive world, it is imperative to acquire relevant skills that set you apart. Engage in extracurricular activities, internships, workshops, volunteer works to gain practical experience and enhance your abilities. Cultivate critical thinking, problem solving, adaptability, teamwork, technological proficiency. These skills will empower you to excel in any chosen field. Networking and mentorship are invaluable resource of your journey. Building a professional network and seeking guidance from mentors can provide you with unique insight, advice, and opportunities. Attend career fair, industry events, and reach out to professionals in your area of interest. Remember, the power of connection can open door that you may have never thought possible. As we venture into future, it is vital to embrace change. The job market is evolving, and so must we. Be open to new technologies, adapt to emerging trends, and continuously upgrade your skills. Develop a growth mindset that embrace challenges as opportunities for personal and professional growth. Remember, change is the catalyst for innovation and progress. Emotional intelligence and communication skills are often underestimated but play a significant role in career development. Mastering effective communication, both verbal and written, along with active listening, empowers you to express ideas and connects with other effectively. Develop empathy, conflict resolution, teamwork skill, as they are essential for success in any workplace and environment. Finally, remember that learning is a lifelong journey. Your education does not end with your school or college. Embrace the concept of continuous learning and personal development. Pursue higher education, certifications, or vocational training that aligns with your aspirations. Stay updated with industry trend and advances. The thirst for knowledge and commitment to learning will propel you forward. Generation holds to conquer, but it begins with self discovery and intentional career planning. Embrace your unique personality set and with like-minded individuals. Future is waiting for you. I have no doubt that each one of you has the power to shape it in extraordinary ways. Thank you, and I wish all the best to the student in their journey of next-gen personality and career development. Thank you. Thank you, Shivam.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Homagai. I think there were some network issues, so we were missing some audio in between. So,
So you all can
thank
ask
you very
me.
much.
So you all can go and ask me questions, and I will be able to answer it. Yeah.
Absolutely, Mr. Homagai. Before that, we would request Dr. Lavi Raj Gupta, who is the Pro Vice Chancellor of Lavri Professional University and our guest of honor for today. Welcome, sir. And Dr. Lavi Raj Gupta would address today us on the topic, which is millennial mindset. Welcome, Dr. Gupta.
Thank you, Mr. Shivam. Good morning, everybody. I'll be taking up the cradle from where Mr. Binod left, and I'll be discussing a little deeper into the words which was spoken by him. So let me share my screen, and then I'll share some of my thoughts to begin with. There are two things. Am I loud and clearly audible?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
You are.
And my screen is visible in the show mode.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So let us quickly look to that all of you, I call you as millennials, people may call you Gen Z or Gen Y, rather you are millennials, people who are sitting here. You know, you are born in the luckiest era of humanity, wherein the availability of technology is at fingertips. So let us see, when we talk about mindset, let us see how your mindset has been developed to present state, and along with your mindset, along with your upbringing, I'm talking about intellectual upbringing, along with your intellectual upbringing, how technology has changed and what is common in between these two, your intellectual capacities and capabilities and the technology out there. They both have grown together exponentially, I'll call. And how and what is the basic mantra of embracing these lightning fast changes? Let us see. I've divided your journey from your childhood, from year 1 to year 3 to year 7, and so on and so forth, because these are certain milestones for you, wherein you have harnessed the best of your capacities and capabilities by learning both formally, informally, unformally kind of things. So in the very first year, in the very first year of your existence, you were an expert of swiping, in the very early childhood, when you were just 1 year, 1.5 years, you could swipe a phone and answer a phone call. In the year 3, you became selfie masters. When you were just 3 years of age, 3.5 years of age, you became selfie masters. At the year 7, you became gladiators because you started playing games and you came to know about the best of the weaponries available. At the year 10, you became a globetrotter. You knew about places. You have been there virtually at almost all the places across the globe, because the technology, the ubiquity of the technology made it possible for you. Most importantly, at the age of 13, you became the most curious individual, and with the advent and with the grand success of Chandrayaan, now you understand the EDL concept of it, that is the entry, descent, and landing. Meaning thereby that your learning pattern, your understanding pattern, your embracing pattern was completely different than what was for us as baby boomers. We were more engrossed into books and we were more dependent on the classroom interactions we used to have. But you are beyond that. Your learnings and your understanding, maybe a little less component comes from the classes, but most of the component they comes from the technology enabled information which you have, because it has inundated the entire scenario through data and through information. By now, you are a celebrity, because on all your social media profiles, you've got thousands of friends and you've got hundreds of followers along with it. And your friends, they belong to different communities, different regions of not only just this country, but all across the globe, you have friends. Once you have evolved yourself, once you have evolved your intellectual capacities and capabilities like this, back there, the technology was also changing. The technology had the yesterday, today, and it has the future. We need to understand what exactly it is. See, earlier, all the computation, all the technology was completely rule-based. That I give an input to any of the technological device, and based on the rules, it gives me the output. But now people have grown. It has moved to discriminative intelligence, wherein if you show an unknown data to a device or a machine, I'm not just simply talking about computation, even your mobile phones or your wearables which you wear has that capacity to discriminately identify an unknown data and categorize it into a category. People moved beyond and they came up with generative part of it, wherein it generates the new form of data. You give a data and it generates the new form of that data, which is more relevant, which is more technology worthy. This is how it has moved. And let us understand. It moved from artificial intelligence. It moved from artificial intelligence to machine learning. It took 30 years. And from machine learning to deep learning, it took another 30 years. But then came the era which came in 3 years old. So you evolved from swipe master to selfie master to globetrotter to gladiator to most curious scientist. The technology has also grown along with you. Now, in both the cases, your escalation, your amelioration, and the technology's advancement, they both are running parallelly with each other. And for this, the most important word is pace. You need to embrace pace. I was listening to Mr. Binod. He talked primarily about the pace of change. We need to understand the pace of change of the world around you and the pace of change which you intend to change. I have defined this pace because you need to keep up with the pace. Wheresoever you are going to take admission for your higher education studies, that particular organization should be capable of onboarding you and keeping you abreast with the pace. And I define this pace as P for prepare, A for your attitude, C for your commitment, and E for your excellence. You need to prepare. Each and every day you need to prepare yourself and reinvent yourself. Your attitude should be something that you have to not just simply win small little battles. You need to win the biggest war. Your commitment to the society, to yourself, to your parents, and to your educational partner or educational institute should be of high quality and should be persistent in whatever you do and whatsoever you are asked to do. Once you prepare yourself well, you have that attitude, you have that commitment in you, the day when it comes for you to embark on a new journey, we call it as career. And career would be the outcome of your life, not the degree. The degree would just be the output of your life. The career would be the outcome of your life. you need to excel on that very day when you are embarking on the newer form of journey of your career. People say this is a myth, that AI is going to take over anybody's seat and AI is going to actually eat out the jobs. I completely disagree with this because it is going to weed out people who are sluggish, who are lazy, who are torpo, and who are not keeping the pace with the changing world. People who do not want to unlearn and relearn once again, it is going to weed out. All you people need to understand this today. You need to maintain the pace by preparing yourself, creating that attitude, committing, and creating that excel within yourself, and nobody can challenge your capacities and capabilities. I'll end my discussion and dialogue with this only because it is all about the mindset and what Einstein said. I quote: "Problems cannot be solved with the same mindset that created them." Unquote. I wish you all the very best, and we'll be more than happy to welcome you to the world of Think Big, what we have as a credo at Lovely Professional University. I wish you all the very best. Good luck and Godspeed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gupta. Thanks for sharing such a wonderful insight. Today, throughout the day, we are going to have a lot of discussions, which is focusing around different aspects of mental and physical development of the students. We are going to talk about what need to be done beyond curriculum. We are talking about what is the importance of co-curricular activities. We are going to talk about how to manage distraction, because this is something wherein most of the students are facing various challenges, whether it is a technology distraction or different forms of distraction, because today people are extra connected. That's how the school principals have also put it to us. So since you're coming from one of the largest universities in India, just a couple of pieces of advice for our young friends who have joined on maybe managing distractions or importance of co-curricular activities.
See, distractions are inbuilt, Distractions has to happen. That is how the humans are defined. Because when we have that superpower of thinking, we can think aloud, we can think a little different also. The only way to do away with the distractions is just one phrase, one metaphor which I talk to my students is be there and do that only. The major challenge with the distraction is when you are sitting in the examination, you are thinking of McDonald's. And when you are sitting at McDonald's, you are thinking of examination. Now you need to do away with this. And this is the biggest thing. When you are sitting in a class, IPL match can wait. And when you are sitting in the IPL match, the class can wait. You need to create a complete trade-off with your thought process. Now you need to mature. Now you're grown up kids. The co-curricular activities, because I always speak about this, and this is one of my credos. People will always say, think out of the box, think out of the box. But nobody has shown you where is the box. Nobody knows where is that box. We have defined that, okay, let us redevise and reinvent this metaphor of think out of the box. Let us think out of the book. This is what I call it as co-curricular activity. There are concepts in the book, but if you have the capacity, capability, zeal, and yearning to bring those concepts to life, bringing all your ideas to life, be it on a piece of paper, be it as a small project. In LPU, we focus quite a lot on this ideology of thinking out of the book. I'm not saying that books are not important. Books are very, very important. Books are the ones who gives you the basic foundation. But then who said that A is only for Apple? Build your A's differently. A can be for allowance, A can be for awards, A can be for accolades. But why we are stick to A for Apple only? You need to understand that. Two basic things. Distractions is within here. It is in your mind. And co-curricular is something, he was talking about my previous individual was talking about, you know, personality. Personality means just plain simple thing that you are there when you are there, both physically and mentally.
Thank you so much, sir. I think that's going to help a lot of our young friends who are struggling between various ambitions they're having, but at the core it is the personality. Because if you develop, as you correctly said, if your mind is strong and if you are focused into something which you are doing at that moment, and if you keep yourself focused there, so I think 90% of the problems automatically get resolved. Now, one last question, and after that we'll proceed to our panels. This is to Mr. Homagay. Mr. Homagay, today we are talking a lot about entrepreneurship development, and we are also talking about inculcating this mindset in the youngsters, maybe in the with the students of class 11 and 12. You have received national awards for entrepreneurship, and Wow Momo has been very successful as a brand. Would you like to share some story about your journey as Wow Momo and your advice to our young friends, Mr. Homagay?
There are two things. I should continue this after 2 minutes. Huh? I'm just getting into the car, and I'll just then again I'll come back on this, because there might be a this thing.
Okay, no
connection
problem, Mr.
issue.
Homagay. We'll connect back. So with this, we would formally close the inaugural session. Thank you, Dr. Gupta. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Homagay. And thank you, Mr. Vanut Arora, for joining from Lovely Professional University. It has been wonderful speaking to all of you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. So with this now, we move forward to our next interaction, which is basically on the focus on international education. And to have and to share this insight, we have with us Ms. Ajanta Sinha Roy. She is the founder and director of Vidyacom Consultancy Private Limited. This consultancy is specializing mainly in helping students with their ambition for foreign education. So welcome, ma'am. Welcome, Ms. Ajanta. Ma'am, your voice is not audible. It's mute.
Thank you so much. Now I'm audible. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. So, moving forward, basically, first we would request you to share your insights into this topic, Ms. Sinha Roy.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Actually, I'm Ajanta, and our Vidya.com consultancy is 30-year-old organization. Though from Kolkata, we are operating since 2009. We started our work with sending students to US and Canada and Australia, New Zealand. But when I came to Kolkata in 2009, what I saw is we need courses which are affordable for all. Here, the students are quality students, all around the world. All the universities know that students who are from West Bengal, they are very meritorious, and the students are really good. But as far as budget is concerned, we really require an affordable budget. So my aim became from 2009 onwards that you name it, we have it. That is our tagline. Means whatever course, whatever budget, whatever percentage of marks you have, Vidya.com has a solution for everything. And we have a free counseling session pan-India. Every day in the evening, students profile evaluation. I do their psychological analysis also, that what course is best for them. That's Vidya. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Sinha Roy, for giving this introduction. Tell us something about today. We all are talking about say the technical education, engineering, medical, which normally people pursue after class 12. what are the
Mhm.
different other kind of courses which are available for students after 12 internationally in different continents?
Yeah. First of all, there was a time when we only knew that engineering and medical are the only courses. No. First of all, there are so many courses nowadays. One is the hospitality industry. You know, it is
Yes.
not hotel management. Hospitality includes the corporates also. Means after doing the hospitality management programs, you can join any corporate organization also. This one. Then hotel and culinary. This is a huge sector now. Tourism is a huge sector. Architecture is there. And regarding this data, not only if you are a science graduate, science student, you can do data. There are management programs which includes data analytics. That is a upcoming, because next 20 years it is only technology and it is only data. And even you can go for iCloud, you can go for fintech, finance with technology. And abroad, the what the universities are doing, they are including the technical programs even in humanities and the commerce background students also, because a technical know-how has become a must. So you can take dual degree also, or even in your course module technology is included. So there are multifarious professions which you go into, even education, even environment, how to conserve the environment. That is also beautiful programs which are done by the foreign universities. Each university has 1,000+ programs. So students, don't worry. If you are not an engineer or if you're not a doctor also, there are so many other professions you can go into. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. With taking examples of say 2 or 3 countries, maybe you can for reference take 2 or 3 countries one by one.
Hmm. Hmm.
Can you guide us like what are normally the entrance procedure for different kinds of courses which are available in those countries? What is the kind of scholarships students get, or
Yeah.
what are different, because when you started the discussion, you were talking about affordable education.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So,
what normally could be the charges and all? Means taking
yeah.
countries
Yeah.
as an example.
Sure. Sure. First of all, we can divide the countries into 4 categories. One is zero, means full free, free education. Yeah, there is free education, because many times when I try to project that there is free education, students feel that how can it be? It's a fraud thing. Which no, there is free education in Italy and Germany, and even Finland, very low course fee. But there are certain terms and conditions. Means you have to fulfill a few criteria. Means if you want to go for a free education, of course, your score matters a lot, your percentage. So that is one category. One category is below 10 lakhs. Means 5 lakhs, 3-4 lakhs to below 10 lakhs. There is one category. In that category, in the UG level, there is South Korea. In Singapore, there are many courses. In Dubai, there are many courses. Even in Europe, there are many courses where the course fee is below 10 lakhs. Okay. If you go to the smaller European countries like Lithuania, Latvia, Portugal, Poland, in the public universities, the course fees are hardly 2.5 to 3 lakhs.
Okay.
Then 10 lakh onwards, if you go, then it is Germany, France, these are the countries. And then on top of that, if you go above 14 lakhs, it is Australia, New Zealand, UK, US, and Canada is one country where both students can accommodate. There are programs which are within 10 lakhs, and those are college programs, and if you go for university programs, it is higher in cost. Even in US, there are community colleges, where the course fee is very reasonable. If in the bachelor, in the UG level, you go to the community colleges, the course fee is very less, even below 10 lakhs also. So this awareness needs to be created. The students, these things you cannot find in the Google. And one thing I want to share here, many times the student feels that I will do it on my own. See, there is no, this is not a thing, this you require a pro. And when the pro is ready to give you the free counseling, instead of that, you concentrate on your score, which is very, very, very important. And means when the students say that I am doing football also, I am doing this also, don't go for so many extracurricular. Ultimately, your score will give you maximum scholarship. That is again a myth that I am into so many things, so I will be bagging a huge scholarship. No, it's not right. Ultimately, it is your percentage which will give you a very good scholarship, even free education.
Thank you, Janata. One thing, like you are talking about free education, say in countries like Italy and Germany, and you are talking about the score. What are the various examinations which they need to
No,
take?
yeah. If you go to Germany, Germany has 10 plus 3, means like we have 10 plus 2 is our admission criteria for UG level. In Germany, it has to be 10 plus 3. And German language is must. You have to do the certification. But Italy, in the undergraduate level, there is an entrance exam in many universities, but few universities does not have even an entrance exam. It is only on your score. And the entrance exam question papers and all are given to the student. Even there is a training for the students before the exam, and we guide the student for that exam also in the UG level. But in the master's level, there is no exam in Italy. But Germany's certification is must for your visa. You have to have the certification of German language, like A1, A2. This you require, yeah.
One thing more, like when we are talking, means I'm going, one by one into the categories which you had mentioned. So just talking about the first category. In Italy or Germany, what are the best courses available? Means like which
See,
are, yeah.
yeah. Germany is best for technical studies. You
Mm-hmm.
know, there are TU9, means technical universities. There are 9 top technical universities in Germany, and Germany's best subject is mechanical engineering or mechatronics. But only technical students, it is easier for them to get a full scholarship. Otherwise, management and psychology, economics, these are the subjects also students can go for in Germany. Okay, but the best is for technical studies. But Italy, all the subjects you can go. You can go for any subject. Though, architecture and all are famous in Italy, but this is one country, the public university caters for all, even commerce background, science background, whatever it is. Okay.
Okay, and talking about
Mm.
the option of maybe free education or education at a very reasonable price in these countries,
Mm.
does it also come with any kind of some kind of bonds are there that you have to work at least 3 years or 5 years in that country?
No,
Anything like that?
no, there is no bond. You get a chance to stay back because all the students want to stay back. Not give a right information. Nothing to talk against Google. We all search Google or we do chat GPT. But what happens, the Google has paid services also. Like I am a consultancy, I will give ad. If I am doing only Australia, I will say that Australia is good and other countries are bad. So sometimes students get demotivated because they don't have so much of money to go to Australia, where the course fee per year is 17 lakhs. So sometimes students are misguided. And when a plus point with us is I do countries all around the world. I am the direct representative of all the countries. So come for a free counseling. Doesn't mean that you have to go only. I am there. It's my passion to work with you. And for all these years, I am a known figure internationally. So come and know. Doesn't mean that you have to go. But knowing is very important.
Great. And now coming to, you had mentioned countries like say Singapore or Middle East, Dubai and all. Which are the best courses out there?
Singapore is again, supply chain and logistics is very good in Singapore. The port is there and all. And of course, culinary and tourism for that. Singapore is good. And Dubai is a business oriented country. So business, technology, everything is very good in Dubai. The thing is, uh, few countries are specialized in few things. Like if you talk about IT and pharmacy, Ireland is the best, But in that way, Singapore and Dubai, they cater for most programs, and the course fee is very reasonable. And in Dubai, they have introduced one very good thing. As soon as the student, suppose a student doesn't have a good budget, somehow he manages to go there. So what the university does, as soon as the student reaches there, within a month or two, they find a paid internship program for him. So the student can work full time during studies. Means what they do, they shift their studies into the weekend or the night classes, thrice a week. And the student gets a full time work opportunity. So if a student actually doesn't have a budget and the parent really strives hard to send the student outside India, so Dubai is a very good option. And Dubai and Singapore are also the pathways. Suppose I don't have much money, I can study 1 year there and I can shift to any other country like UK, US, because these countries, many universities has campuses in Singapore or Dubai.
Okay. Tell us, like, if we talk about technical education, which are maybe the top 2 or 3 countries where the major outflow is
Hmm.
from say India or maybe from Asia?
Yeah, yeah. See, US is, the Silicon Valley is there. So anything related to computer science, anything, US is number one. As far as job opportunity, the monetary return on investment, when you are investing, on your son or you're the guardian, this is the best investment, and the return is very high. But everybody cannot afford to go to US. So the next best option is Ireland. The same benefits you get, because in Ireland, Microsoft, Adobe, Facebook, all of these companies, they have their European head office in Ireland. And Ireland, the fees is 1/4 of US. See, so it is called the Silicon Valley of Europe. So you can go to Ireland also for computer engineering. And UK is the most trending destination. After the Brexit, most of the Europeans have left for Europe. So UK, there is a huge volume of job requirement. So UK is also giving one additional professional year in most of the universities, which is free. So the student can go to the companies and learn work, staying free and even getting a paid internship. So these are the best countries for technical education.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And the students, like after 12, they means what are the different kind of exams? Means there are variety of exams they need to take for different kind of education in different countries. So if you can give a guidance about what are the different kind of exams and how these students need to prepare for that.
Yeah, in the undergraduate level, there are not many. You have to give your IELTS, TOEFL, either of them, PT, any of them, So this is most important. And the next important thing is their score. Repeatedly, I'm telling percentage. They have to only concentrate on their studies. They can pick up 1 or 2 extracurricular if they want to, but otherwise it is the score. And for going to any English speaking country, like we are considered as non-English speaking country, though our official language is English, we have to appear for IELTS or PT.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Any other piece of advice you would like to share with our young friends?
Yeah, one thing is, for all of you, there is opportunity. Don't compete with another person. Compete with yourself, Try to, your benchmark should be your own self, Put a benchmark for yourself that I have to reach this much. And do not compare. There is all opportunities for all of you. So many opportunities are there. So don't worry. Just you have to strike a balance, Don't get depressed. Don't feel bad. Whatever you can do that much. And even if you have got a second division below 60%, don't worry. There are so many options for you all also. That is the only thing I want to say.
Thank you so
Don't
much,
be
ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. And since I had told you, most of our young friends, they are watching us online through YouTube and Facebook. So we have received a couple of questions from the audience. Maybe one or two questions if you would like to address for them.
Sure.
In fact, first question we have just received, it is related to what you were just saying, that what is the importance of class 10th and 12th marks when they are when they are aiming for education abroad?
12th marks is very important, If you want to get a good scholarship anywhere, like if you want to go to Germany, below 75%, you cannot go. So 12th score is very, very important. Whether you want to get a good scholarship, whether you want to go to a good country, 12th score is very important.
Okay. One more question which we have received is they are inquiring if somebody wants to come to you for a physical counseling. So where are your centers located?
Yeah, I am located just next to Rabindra Sarovar metro station. When you come by metro, so you just come out from the number 6 gate, and we are just opposite Bhavani Cinema. It is the place is Toliganj, but you don't need to go up to Toliganj. We are just next to Rabindra Sarovar metro station, and it is 49 Deshopran Shashmal Road. And if you can also contact me via Zoom. My number will be available. What should I do? Means,
So we can share that. We can share that.
should I?
I think in that case, Shivam can share the number, no?
We can share that.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay. And one day I can keep the whole day the Zoom can be open for them. They can enter any time, whichever time suits them. I can keep Zoom open in my one laptop so that I can counsel them. And they can also visit me.
Okay, ma'am. We'll take one last question. A lot of questions are coming, but paucity of time, we'll just take one last question. This question is coming, one student is inquiring about which are the best countries for fashion technology, fashion related education.
France.
I think we did not cover that.
France, Paris,
Okay.
yeah, and UK is also good. Top is France, and then UK, then US.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you for addressing some of the questions from our audience. And thank you for joining us for this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Mr. Shivam, for giving me the opportunity. I always love coming to these sessions. And thank you, students, for listening. And you are always welcome for a free, absolutely free counseling. I am yours all the time. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Again, will be, in fact, Mr. Vinod Kumar Humagei is again back with us. During the inaugural session, we were having some difficulty with the connectivity. Thank you so much, sir, for joining back. At that time in the inaugural session, we were talking about the entrepreneurship mindset. Because today we are talking about a lot about entrepreneurship, and we are talking about inculcating this mindset, or maybe helping the young friends of standard 11 and 12 also to understand the entire aspect about entrepreneurship. So since Wow Momo as a brand, you have received national awards, and you have been very successful as a brand. So would you like to share some your journey as a Wow Momo and your advice to our young friends?
Yes, definitely. I'd love. So my time was different time. It was 2008 when we started Wow Momo. Just after our college was over, so we have given our final exam and then started with the Wow Momo. And we thought that if we don't do good in exam and we have to repeat, then we'll come back and study again. But that is the risk you have taken. The first is the attitude. You need to have that gut to take the risk. Second thing, in our time, this startup culture, all these things were not there actually, So at that time, what we used to do, we used to study to get a good job. If you get a good job, then you get a good salary, then you have a good house, car. These are at the class 10, 12. This is what comes to the mind of the children at that point of time. So what they are going to think about future is that what they are going to earn and how they are. But the situation is totally different today. In our time also it was the same thing, but we took a step that no, we are not that great in the studies. They're not. We have to create a job opportunity for ourselves so that we sustain. That's how the Wow Momo came in picture. We thought of doing something new, unique. See, it's not that momos were not there. It was there. We just did what we did. We just taken it from a product and we made it a category. We branded it. It's just innovation and change in the product we have done, and we have created this brand. And today people know there is a startup culture, there is technical era. So people and youngest people, they are very much tech savvy people are there right now. So I think for them, they don't need to think about what they are going to earn, or they can think that what problem can they solve, right? And if they think that what problem they can solve from the society, they become innovators for new things, and as well as entrepreneurship development comes into play. Now they don't need to think of their house car; it's already taken care of by their parents. Now they think that what solution they can. Just now, the professor has spoken about the Chandrayaan and the technology used in. Yeah, those technologies are going to become every generation in next any 10 years. The technology is changing, market is changing, so you will always have an opportunity. Even COVID was an opportunity. After that, lot of brands have started rising. Every whenever there is a change is always for the good. So I think students should take care of any changes there. They should take the opportunity and do something so that they can change the entire dynamics of the system.
Thank you so much, Mr. Omage. In fact, we are receiving a lot of questions which is coming to you. Would you like to take one or two questions?
Yes, I can.
Okay, one very interesting question which has come up is, have you done any course on entrepreneurship for being?
No, I am just to become graduate. After the third year examination, we started Wow Momo before the results were out. and I also believe that that's the best time to take the risk, because till that time you have been sponsored by your parents. Maybe 1 or 2 years you can take the risk. Till that you are already sponsored by your parents. Your pocket money comes, or your traveling, everything comes from parents. 2 years experience, 3 years experience in entrepreneurship. Maybe you might not succeed, but that will give you a best experience. Believe me. And if you go to a job after that, no, you will be in different place altogether. So after college is the best time to take any step for the entrepreneurship world.
One more very interesting question is coming up. Actually, we have got a lot of young friends, so the questions are very interesting. One question which is coming is it needed to first complete all your study and then start a business, or they can after 12 also they can start a business?
Anytime.
Your advice.
Yeah, but don't leave your studies. Don't you leave your studies, but you can do it anytime. After 12, if you are genius, then nothing can stop you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Homage.
Yeah,
because positive time we'll be moving into the panel discussion. Thank you so much, Mr. Homage.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining. With this, we'll move to our panel discussions. The first panel discussion which we are having is on the topic beyond curriculum. And to moderate this panel discussion, we have the pleasure of having Mr. Prakash Panda with us. He is the President and Group CHRO for India Power Corporation Limited. Welcome, Mr. Panda.
Thank you, Shivam. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining. So, in the panel, we will be first requesting Dr. Jayanta Pal, who is the academic director of Modi Private School from Siliguri. Welcome, Dr. Pal. We have the second panelist, Dr. S. Banerjee, who is the principal of Delhi Public School, Rampur Hata. Welcome, Dr. Banerjee.
Thank you, Shivam, sir.
Thank you for joining. We have with us Mr. Anit Arora. He is the principal of GEMS Academy International School, Kolkata. Welcome, Mr. Arora.
Thank you, Mr. Shivam. It's a pleasure to meet all of you.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. So I'll request Mr. Prakash Panda to kindly take forward the session. Mr. Panda.
Yeah. Hi. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this panel discussion on Beyond Curriculum. Thanks to Bengal Chamber, Shivam, for organizing this online summit on next generation personality and career development. This is the third edition. Welcome our esteemed panelists, Dr. Jayant Pal, Dr. Subha Banerjee, and Mr. Anit Arora. Mr. Jayant Pal from Siliguri, Mr. Subha Banerjee is from Rampurhat, and from Calcutta, Mr. Anit Arora. I think very nicely, the esteemed panelists have been chosen so that the entire Bengal is covered through these three panelists. I think, as you all know that I think syllabus and the course curriculum is extremely important, because this can always help building a strong foundation of the student to make them a good human being, good professional. And obviously the syllabus and this course curriculum always helps to standardize the learning opportunity for all the students, and to make sure that every student also acquire knowledge on whatever stream they are, whether it is a science or commerce or arts or humanities or any other, in the 11th and 12th and beyond that. But what is necessary, if you look at today, there is three generation who are there part of this discussion maybe today. Many of us are from radio generation. We heard what the world has to offer. Some of us are also fortunately from the TV generation, so we see what the world has to offer. But this generation is a net generation. They anticipate what the world has to offer. So there is a lot of in terms of imagination as to what they want. So therefore, a lot of beyond curriculum also one need to think that what is there the present generation, the next generation is expecting out of the schools and the beyond curriculum. The second part is obviously when you look at the career perspective for maybe 3 decades from now, always the students and parents have one aspiration, that how do you make them an engineer or a doctor. So how do you think as a career perspective, there are a lot of opportunity there. So how do you take other than apart from engineering, medical, what are the other options, so that a lot of career avenues are always available. It is based on the aptitude, interest, and the skills of the individual that one should choose. Various other topics also we'll be discussing. The whole objective is how do you make sure that everybody become a good human being as well as a strong professional, be it employed or be it self-employed. I think there are various opportunities should be always there based on whatever the liking and what the interest and aptitude based on that. I think one more thing is, when you look at curriculum, it is only marks. So it is not about mathematics. It is about the arithmetics and the chemistry also. So therefore, one has to look that beyond marks, how the school also or the teachers also can develop the student. And the second part is the pedagogic part. So it is not a descriptive, a prescriptive part, but how we can be participative, wherein the students also have the equal, because today knowledge is available because of the internet. Earlier knowledge was it is a transfer of knowledge from the teacher to the student, but right now there is a lot of reverse technology also, reverse knowledge sharing also is possible. So how this environment also can be developed in the school. So if you look at some of these topics that we'll be discussing, obviously the panelists will be giving their insight and perspective on how do you explore the career paths, what are the skills required, to essential skills to become a good professional. How do you cultivate a growth mindset? It is not about the failures, but it is all about always looking for the opportunity. How do you convert the threat into opportunity? Continuous learning is extremely important. How do you also explore the networking? So various topics of the deliberation is there today. So right now I'll request the first panelist, Dr. Jayant Pal, to share his thoughts and perspective on a very important topic, because all of us know that I think students obviously expecting that how do you explore more and more career paths, and the career path is obviously it is aligned to the interest and the skills and values, something like this. And how do also from the mostly today students from ages together, they always get influenced or they are inspired by their parents or the family members or people around them. But right now it is a networking world. So how the career path one should explore, and how they feel that they are actually going for a right career path. Your perspective, Dr. Jayant Pal.
Good morning, Mr. Panda, and my co-panelist, Dr. Banerjee and Mr. Arora. Uh, Three of us, we are associated with the school, so I think maybe there may be differences, but I think we have a common point to share. The career, usually the children start thinking from the maybe once they are in class 6, 7, and then a lot of changes come in between. But what I feel, what I'm finding right now, there are two ways of looking at it. One is we have this group which has faced the lockdown, the online, the virtual classes. This is one group. Today in the morning, I was going through an article like in Great Britain as well, in the United Kingdom, the crisis is there. They are facing this crisis, especially those who, like 2023, our batch which passed out, or in 2022, the batch which passed out. The challenges remain for them, and to adjust with that, the system and what they have learned, they have to unlearn now. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to face the reality in the world now. But the most important part, what I feel is among the students and among the children, the parents, it's more or less is pre-decided that once you complete class 10, most of them, they think that, okay, I'll take up science. This is number one. And if I'm not in a position to take up science, then I'll go for commerce. And if science and commerce is not possible, then no choice is left to me. So I'll take up humanities. So it appears that especially those who are taking up humanities, it's forced upon them because they do not have any avenue. But we do find that there are children, those who take up humanities, knowing it very well that what they want to do down the line, say after 5 years or 7 years. So they decide and they join. But that percentage of students, those who are really taking up humanities as your subject, the combination of subjects, that percentage is very low. The majority, they rush towards science, and of that group, now we are finding a trend. It was there, but this your trend is you can say it's increasing in size. That only target is either they have to take up engineering or they have to go for pursue medical sciences. And for that one, they are joining the coaching classes. Some they are dropping out. They think that, okay, if I join a coaching center and focus on that one, I will be better off in the competitive sector when I appear in either the entrance examinations for engineering or medical. But what the parents are not realizing, these 2 years, the +2 and the 2 years, classes 11 and 12, they play a very important role because it's a transition phase. Because till class 10, the skills, what even the different boards, even UGC is now focusing on to enhance the soft skills. I think till class 10, all of us, all the schools, they focus on grooming those soft skills. Till class 10, it is there. So that they can build up their leadership skill, they can build up their communicative skill, how to interact with their friends, how to fight stress. But once they come to class 12, especially those who are taking up science and joining the different numerous coaching centers, because we have the hubs, the coaching hubs are there in India. Along with that, if I take up the example of Siliguri, we have many coaching centers which have come up. The children they are just giving away the school, and somehow they just keep their names attached with the school and they join those courses. But these 2 years make or mar a child, because what we are finding that once they join, suppose they get into one of the institutes, maybe an engineering or medical, there they find it difficult to adjust with the setup, the environment. Because they are, once they are in the coaching center, their focus is the objective of the coaching center is how to make them score and to be in the merit list. That is their focus. But once they join a professional college, it may be engineering or medical, there they find that it becomes very difficult for them to adjust with the system, the taking down notes from the teachers, and then interacting with the teachers and interacting with their peer members. This 2 years matters a lot, and what they learn here in these 2 years, because you can say it's a jumping board for them for the next phase. And there, many of the students, what we come across in the news, that the suicidal cases are increasing. Number of students after joining, they are leaving. Even IITs, they are leaving because they are finding that this is not my place, or I'm not able to cope up with that. So, and once they join the professional colleges, these soft skills, what they learn in the school, they play a very important role, because in those professional colleges, it's just not the teaching learning process where the teacher is, the lecturers are there and the student is there, but they have life beyond that, because all professional colleges are mostly residential in nature, and there the interpersonal skill play a very important role. How they interact with their friends, how they groom themselves, and how they project themselves. Now, for the colleges as well, the institutions which are there, they have a very important role to play, especially the professionals which are, which they pass out from the colleges. There, unless until these life skills are being taught to them in a proper way, when they are facing, because Mr. Panda is in a sector where they are recruiting. So there, the skills, what is expected, we are finding that thousands of students are passing out from the engineering colleges or medical colleges, but when they face the interview board, at the time they are not in a position to face the interview board, because they are not able to interact with the board members, or they are not in a position to communicate. Language is one factor. Definitely, it's a very important factor, especially if we talk of Bengal. Majority of the students, those who are passing out from our Bengal board, they face it's a big challenge for them, because they are not able to compete with especially those who are passing out from the CBSE board or the ICC board, your council schools. So a challenge remains for them, and I think the colleges, the professional colleges, has a major role to play in that one, to develop those skills where they can communicate. Otherwise, even good students professionally, they know their work, they know how to deal with it, how to work on that one. Technologically, they are very sound, but they are left behind, or they lag behind, because they are not in a position to communicate with them.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Paul, for your insight. I think, as you very rightly said, that there are 2-3 aspects. One is that, during the 11th and 12th, most of the students are focusing on, if they are in the science stream, focusing on the various coaching, and a little bit they are obviously ignoring the scores. The second part is you touched upon is obviously, maybe after science and commerce, some students are being forced to take the humanities, not as a choice, but maybe a compulsion. So I'm sure there are a lot of, and third aspect is, once they complete the professional courses also, there is a chances of not getting a job or various stress. So my next question to Dr. Banerjee is basically, in this there is a lot of stress, and one need to manage the emotions. Obviously, how do a one student have a strong balance between the study and the life? Looking at everyone has a career goal. They need to maintain a good healthy work life or study life. How do they spend little more time on various hobbies? And because obviously between this 12th, when their students are there in the science, between the study and between the coaching, they have less time obviously, and there is a lot of stress. So how do one prepare for this? Dr. Banerjee, please.
First of all, good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Prakash sir and my esteemed panelists and colleagues, thank you for this opportunity, BCC and I. Today, I would like to address a topic which, of course, we all are discussing, which was often very highly underestimated. But nowadays, I think the parents, the teachers, the schools, they must have realized that this is a topic that holds the key to a very successful and fulfilling student life. The delicate balance between one's academic pursuit and the student's personal life, especially when it extends beyond the curriculum. And I think that's the major topic of our today's panel discussion. However, as a student, I would like to tell the students that we all know what is your foremost responsibility. And undoubtedly, that is your educational pursuit. It's a journey that requires a whole lot of dedication, lots and lots of hard work, and definitely resilience. But let's not forget that life has many dimensions. I'm pretty sure the students must be aware of the very fact of multi-dimension. Nowadays, we started promoting this from the schools that life has many dimensions. You believe it or not. And a fulfilling student's experience goes beyond textbooks and classrooms. And that's what we are learning after coming to 21st century teaching and learning skills. So exploring passions and interest that lie outside the curriculum is a very, very integral part of your growth, whether it's art, music, sports, extracurricular activities, even community service, or any other pursuit that sets your heart on fire. Yes, you have heard me right. Sets your heart on fire, which you like to do out of passion. These activities in time will shape your character and definitely enrich your life in a ways that perhaps textbook might not be able to do anymore. These are the skill sets that teach you skills like teamwork, collaboration, creativity, and time management. Very essential. We all fight hard and fight really long for this particular thing, time management, right from the student life all this way when you're handling the school as a principal. It's a principal fact that time management is an invaluable asset in the real world. So striking the balance between your studies and your personal interest might seem very, very challenging, but it's a skill that will serve you well throughout your entire life. Effective time management is the key. Plan your days wisely, allocate specific time for studies, and equally important, reserve your time for your passions. For there is no passion in a human being's life not possible to take it forward in due time in coming days. Remember, taking breaks to do what you love doesn't mean you're neglecting your studies. And definitely this is a message which needs to go out loud and clear to the parents, that taking a break to do what you love doesn't necessarily mean that you are neglecting your studies. It means you're recharging, reboosting, and re-energizing your mind and nurturing your soul. When you're passionate about something, that's the key balance that we are looking for. When you're passionate about anything, it has a remarkable way of enhancing your overall well-being. Pursuing your interests can give you fresh perspective, help alleviate stress, and ignite your creativity. And here's a secret. A well-balanced life doesn't just improve your mental and emotional health, it can also boost you up thoroughly through your academic performance. All you need to do is give it a try. But achieving this equilibrium requires a thorough communication and support. We do everything. Networking, collaborating, team working, we do everything, but perhaps right from the olden days till the very now, I think all the teachers, the moment when they enter your classroom, the very first thing they want to tell you is talk, speak up. And that's something is highly required when you try to balance between these two parameters. Share your goals with your teachers, with your family members, with your friends, and the mentors, those who are your true guides. Let them know what you're passionate about and how it complements your academic pursuit. Surround yourself with people who encourage your growth in all aspects of life. In this journey, remember, that perfection, generally we run after perfection. Perfection is not supposed to be the goal. It's about the progress that and also the effort that you make to create a meaningful balance. Embrace the challenges, any challenges it may be. Celebrate the achievements, no matter how small it is, and be kind to yourself when things don't go as planned. And let me remind you, there will be time when things will not go as planned. It happens to the elders, it will happen to you. You need to learn to embrace, and the balance will come falling to you easily. In conclusion, all my fellow students, those who are watching, with the help of the colleagues, esteemed colleagues, those who are here, perhaps supporting what I'm trying to say, your education is foundation, but the experiences you gather beyond the curriculum are the colors that paint the canvas of the life that you are about to make. Embrace the opportunities to explore, to learn, to grow, to nurture outside the classroom as well. Strive for the harmonious blend of studies and your personal growth, and you will find not only success in your academics, but also a very successful, vibrant, enriched life that is awaiting for you in near future. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Banerjee. I think thanks for touching upon the areas. How do you balance the study and personal life, as well as also to develop some of the habits? Because as you rightly said, when the student come to the corporate, when you are looking at this, obviously based on their interest, aptitude, you decide their roles. So some people are individual contributors, some people become a team manager based on their leadership skills, their teaming skills. So obviously it is extremely important that those who play some kind of physical activity, they tend to become a good leader. They always guide and take the other people along. And the next panelist, next panelist, Mr. Anit Arora, request you to throw some light on the continuous learning, because it is extremely important today. Is beyond curriculum, one has to learn continuously, whether it is through online mode, whether it is through self-directed learning, whether it is through workshop, and how do you develop your skills and knowledge. Like we always say that jo seekhega wo tikega. So it is extremely important that how can you build a strong foundation through continuous learning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Panda, and good morning one and all present here. First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry for coming up with this wonderful session. See, to begin with, I would like to say that I personally believe that 80% of learning happens outside the classroom. So I would very strongly say that today with 5G, 4G coming into picture, learning is flowing everywhere. It is available everywhere. We just need to tap that learning. So students, I would just like to tell you that if we need to survive, because today we are in 2023, and probably if you are into an age group of 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, you need to survive for another 60 years, another 70 years. And we really don't know how the world would be after 10 years, after 20 years. With artificial intelligence coming into picture, what kind of job requirement would be there? What kind of skill requirement would be there? Nobody is aware of it. So within 10 years, we'll be exploring things which are very unknown to us. So the only key to success is that we need to unlearn, relearn, and continuously learning. So learning has to take place till the end of the last day of our life. So if we have this kind of mindset, and 360-degree learning will be the key to success. Now, we all need to understand that, see, though the brain will not have muscles, but just imagine that if brain was having muscles. So the moment we see something, we observe something, we read something, we develop those muscles. We learn. Then those muscles get strengthened. Now, once we are into school, we are into college, we make our muscles very strong. But if we go out of college, if we go out and we stop learning, then what would happen? I'll not have the same biceps, I'll not have the same physique after some time. I have to go to the gym every day. I have to work out every day. I have to check what kind of food I'm eating. That will only make me fit as a person. So for the fitness of my brain, I really need to learn. Now, how this learning can happen. See, the learning happen first of all with observation skill. Now we talk that what is an officer-like quality. The first quality of an officer is that they need to observe everything very minutely. They need to ask questions. They need to find out. They need to relate. They need to explore. So if we develop this kind of personality everywhere, so I'd like to give you certain examples. Now, see, today it's more about cross-industry. It is not that people, those who take up a particular profession will be into that profession for another 50 years. So like we all were changing jobs in the same industry. Now, what I believe, what all articles I'm reading in India and abroad, they might change their industry also. They might change their domain also. So once you're changing your domain, you're following your passion, you're following your maybe your purpose of life. So sometimes you discover a purpose of life a little bit late. So we take up different opportunities which we would get. So in that particular case, your observation skill would be very important. So at this age, students, I'm going to guide you how you can observe things. Now, suppose you're traveling in a car. Always try to ask question to yourself. What kind of fuel is used in this car? If it is a petrol engine, then why not? It is a diesel engine. So now the next question which should come to your mind is, what is the difference between a petrol engine and a diesel engine? Now, my car is having how much cylinders? Now, the tire of my car can take how much of pressure in that? So now this is related to science. So you're going to ask quite a lot of questions to yourself. Now, why this is happening? You're using a soap in the morning. Find out what is the composition of that soap. Which company is manufacturing that soap? What is the weight of that soap? So explore things. Find out how the things are changing. You're cooking something in the evening. Ask questions. If I'm putting this ingredient, from where I get this ingredient? Like, what is the source of this ingredient? What is the chemical composition of this ingredient? What is the nutrition value of this particular ingredient? So the moment you ask questions outside the classroom, you ask question to your father, you ask question to your friends, you explore on internet, you read books, then you get that kind of courage to ask the same kind of questions in the classroom also to the teachers. The moment you get this kind of strong ideology, you will always be a winner in life. So learning should never stop. Now, for example, let me tell you, we interview quite a lot of teachers. We interview those who have done their MCOM, those who have done their MBAs. We ask them very basic question. Sir, what is Sensex? What is Nifty? How it has to be done? And they would say, sir, this was not a part of our syllabus. Ask an MSc physics person that what is the difference between an alternating current or a direct current? And many of them are clueless about these small basic things. So even ask a student of grade 12, like what would be the weight of this mobile phone? And you will get answers from 1 gram till 10 kgs. So this real world learning, this 360-degree learning, exploring how the things are happening around, asking questions, finding out, be inquisitive every time, working on your brain muscles, exploring things. So that would be the key for 21st century successful students. So students, I would just like to request you, always enjoy to ask questions. Even ask your mother a question. Why the chapatis which we prepare every day in the house, why it is round, why not it is square, why not it is rectangle? And believe me, there is a scientific answer to it. Because the burner which we use is round in shape. And so now how the heat dissipation would happen. So there is everything which is scientific, which is happening around. Only we need to relate to it. We use a mobile phone, but have we asked which operating system is being used? Many of them would say it is an Android operating system. Now, which company manufactures Android? Which version of Android we are using? How this Android version is different from the previous version of Android? Always ask these questions to yourself. Always explore these questions. So the moment we do this day in, day out, inside the school, outside the school, by walking, while talking to your friends, while browsing on internet, while watching something on TV, while reading something, so the learning happens. So we become inquisitive, we become responsible, we become lifelong learners. So this is my advice to all the students: be inquisitive, find out. Take example of Elon Musk. He does not know anything about SpaceX, but only because he was inquisitive, he explored quite a lot of companies which were manufacturing rockets, which were doing. He read quite a lot of books, and today he has opened up companies which are in fact beyond his domain. So everything is possible today. Only thing is, you need to believe in yourself. You need to explore all possibilities you are blessed with, and you need to align your possibilities with your purpose of life.
To have a concluding remark for 2 to 3 minutes on some of the other topics which we have so far little bit we touched upon. My next question is Dr. Jayant Pal. Maybe you can share your insight. Already you have shared about the career path and little bit on the skill side. But in order to in order to become more successful, it is extremely important to learn, apply, and practice, so that you are actually achieving little perfection on that, and you are actually getting into expertise in that. So apart from the skills that I already shared, that interpersonal skills, some of the leadership skills are required. What are the different soft skills that one need to need to learn, so that they become a good human being and good professional? And maybe how can they leverage the in the networking today available for them? So Dr. Paul, please.
Now, one stress is there on the ethical learning, and that plays a very important role because during our days when we were in the school, at the time moral values was taught as a subject, then value based education was there, but slowly somewhere we are finding that the importance or acceptance of those moral values by the students somewhere they are missing out. So when you ask, when you ask a child that when you're walking along an avenue or say in a park, do you have a habit of plucking the leaves when you see? Because that's the direct instinct what you get, that okay, you pluck your leaves of a plant. So what we find that okay, maybe say 30 to 40% of the students, they say that we do it. So the next question is that why do you do it? Because you think that it doesn't have life. Because of that you are doing it. But definitely if you try it on a human being, you will get the repercussion of that one. So why should our approach to our environment, to our life, should not be based on that one? That we have to respect, we have to show our empathy, not only to our human being, say our society, the people, those who are there, but along with that one, the entire environment, the ecology, the environment, what we have. Now, the ethical part is that what is good and what is bad, what is right and what is wrong. Now, this one to differentiate among the students is very, very difficult. To accept that, okay, this is wrong and this should not be continued, or this is not the right direction for us to go. The acceptance level among the students is decreasing day by day. Because of that, what we are finding that it's not that during our age when we are in school, when we were students at the time, this were not there. But the number of the substance abusers is increasing day by day. And maybe somewhere we as a society were responsible for it. We are not able to show them the direction, the proper direction. But what is right, what right now at this age, what I think is wrong, the student in class 10 thinks that that is right. That's the problem. And there the clash starts, that what should be accepted as wrong and what should be accepted as right. So this, your ethical, your part of our soft skill, that plays a very important role, and NEP is also stressing on it now, that we have to focus on that one and we have to inculcate the values which we expect from the students.
Yeah, I think thanks, and Dr. Paul, for a great narrative. I think you are extremely, you are extremely right in saying that moral value, ethical, that is ethics are extremely important, because when we also come across people in the corporate, that it is all about a corporate governance. It is all about people, following the ethics, having a principle, they have a values system. I think, unfortunately, as you rightly said, that a lot of things are depending on the societal perspective, wherein if you look at, early days, it was relationship was important and money was less important. Today, unfortunately, money is important over a relationship. That's a lot of transactional values are there in people. At the same time, I must say that money is important, but not everything. I think that mind then people need to follow on the ethical values. My next question is to Dr. Banerjee. You already touched upon something on the balancing and the managing the emotions, and how do you also handle the peer pressures, the pressure for the parents? At times there is pressure, there is undue pressure also. In this, there is one more, extremely important area related to ethics also is the discipline. I think school, obviously, all of you are, educationist as well as the education administrator, and therefore you bring in a lot of discipline in the schools, because it is a, within the boundary. But today, many of the educations are boundaryless because it is online, and because of Corona, also a lot of things also has changed. So, how do you bring in that kind of digital discipline so that people are more focusing on the physical activity and also maintaining the digital discipline so that there is no distraction on that, and they are morely focusing on whatever is there. So, just to add to this is the efforts to results. If people are putting a lot of efforts in the right direction, the results are bound to come. But if there is distraction, obviously the efforts will be higher and results will be less.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Just to answer your first question, that is the emotions and handling pressure. That is a very crucial part of the student's life now. And it is actually going beyond. Looks like that it is not only the parents and the friends and the teachers, it's the student versus rest of the world. The amount of pressure that they're dealing with is enormous. And life as we know it, like it's a journey filled with challenges and opportunities and ups and downs and relationships that shape our path. Be it a relationship between a teacher and a student, a principal and a teacher, and a principal and a student, everywhere. In this journey, what I personally feel is our ability to navigate our emotions and the pressure that is surrounding us will finally create the line for the path and the course that is the route to success and our well-being. So discipline and emotion, these two things go hand in hand. Nowadays, as you can see, that the schools are facing a whole lot of disciplinary issues right after the COVID ended, because it's the assimilation period between the students coming back to the physical classes, and then they cannot forget what happened into the online classes. So in order to maintain the color of the existence, very existence and the vibrancy of these classes, different disciplinary measures were taken. The emotional balances were guided through the lectures and the methods that the teachers were using. They were bound to change the course of it. But just a skilled sailor that learns to read the tides, we too must learn to decipher the problems that the students are facing. And I believe in order to bring both the emotional balance and discipline into the school, deciphering is the thing that we started doing right from the end of 2021. We started acknowledging them, we started understanding them, and channel them effectively. So far, we have reached somewhere, but I personally feel we have a very long way to go. It is okay, to feel a range of emotions. We keep on telling this to the students. We keep on telling this to our parents, to our teachers. They need to be reminded that we all are human. And the key of the life is not to let the control go off our hand, but rather using it as a tool to drive our actions. The pressure that we are facing from outside is a natural part of the interconnected world. Friends, they do inspire us, challenge us, and push us to be our best selves. And it is essential to remember that our true friends will respect our individuality. More and more we start promoting this from our classroom. They also will understand. At some point, they are bound to understand that what exactly is the meaning and how it is essential to remember that true friends are going to respect the very need and the individuality and the value of the support of individual growth. Similarly, parents and family, I'm talking about outside school, want what's best for us, all of us, for you, for them. But it's vital to communicate our aspirations and dreams with them openly, instead of a closed door, instead of, addressing it through a crowd. It is very important for all of us to address it pinpoint. striking a balance between the external expectation and our internal compass is where the problem solution lies. That's what I believe.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Banerjee, for sharing these thoughts. I think you are extremely, right in saying that. Yes, I think the external pressures and how do you internalize these things so that I think that is extremely important. My next question is to Mr. Arora. People always look at failures and like already Dr. Banerjee has shared that how do you manage the emotions, and even Dr. Jayantapal also shared that because of people are not having pressures post their education during the IITs, during various there are a lot of suicidal attempt and a lot of unfortunate incidents also happening. So looking at this, how do you cultivate a growth mindset? How do you instill a growth mindset in the students during the 11th and 12th in such a way that they are continuously looking for the opportunities, they are converting the threat into opportunity. Whenever there are failures, they are coming out of that, and also they are building the career in such a way that failures are there, it will be there, but they're learning from their failures and also doing whatever best is required. Maybe your perspective and thoughts on this. Mr. Arora is.
I think he's got disconnected.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe any of you can take this. Dr. Banerjee maybe for 2 minutes, and maybe Mr. Pal for 2 minutes on this. A quick concluding remarks on this.
Sir, can I get the point again?
Yeah, so it is basically what I'm saying is, there are people, the students will come across failures because it is part of the life, but how they are learning from the failures and how they are instilling a growth mindset wherein they are always looking for opportunities only, and how do they manage their their emotions, and as well as how do they manage continuously they are having a little bit of positiveness in them. So how do you look, how do they build that growth mindset?
See, challenges are always there. The challenges are there, but as an institution, what I feel personally is like the institution, it's a triangle where we have, on one hand, the administration, the other hand, we have the parents, and then the students. Now, they, unless until we three in the triangle we work together, is very difficult to overcome the challenges which the children are facing. Now, the children, like where the failure cases are there, or those who are not able to do, or they are not able to overcome the pressure what they have, especially those who take up science at the end of the, say, 12th year, they find that they are not able to cope up. They think that will drop out. Now, there, we as an institution, we play a very important role in counseling the children, and there, it cannot be done without the parents. So parents also have a very important role to play, and once we sit together with the children, we try to find out a solution, because whenever children, let's say the parents come, the children come, that okay, my target is that I want to be an engineer, or I want to be a doctor. Then in that case, my straight question to the parent is, or to the child is, do you have plan B with you ready? That it is not necessary that because you are competing with, if it is engineering, you are competing with 12 lakh students every year. The competition is so high that naturally the pressure will be there and the seats are limited. That's a challenge for India, because the number of students who are passing out every year is increasing, whereas the seats which are available, especially in the reputable colleges, it's limited. The number is limited, but your competition level is increasing day by day. So that if you do not get it in the first year or in the second year, then what will you do? How are you going to cope up with that one? So unless until we are ready with that challenge, that okay, if it doesn't happen, then I'll switch over. Because if you are not in a position to become an engineer or doctor, that's not the end of your life. That's what we try to teach them, what we try to convince our parents, that's not the life, because your child maybe he is very good in mathematics, but he can become a very good artist as well. We have examples in different, like if we take he has become part of your national curriculum framework, Manjul Bhargava, because on the one hand he is a mathematician, but along with that he is a very good your artist as well. So he has pursued both. Maybe he has become a better your mathematician, but maybe it would not have been possible if he had not pursued his passion for that, what he has. So the plan should be ready that, okay, I have a target, I will go ahead with that one. But if I fail in that, that's not the end of my life. And definitely I will not end my life. I will go for
that. You always choose a right path, and even if there is a failure, there is always a positive opportunity available.
We are strong into one area or the other areas, but if we have this growth mindset, if we have this kind of determination, if we have this kind of willpower, that we'll work hard and we can achieve anything. So we need to believe in our abilities, and we can always develop abilities and intelligence with hard work. So our mindset is very important. And we need to understand one very important thing, that we need to be responsible. We need to be accountable for whatever we are doing in our life. So this responsibility and accountability is very important in our life. When we actually get success in our life, the moment we understand that we are ready to take responsibility, we are ready to take accountability of all our actions. So this is power of our thoughts. This is power of our belief that we can always grow. Now, this self-reflection is very important. As a student, effort, not the results. Results can come one day. If the result is not coming today, maybe we can have very good results after 10 days, after 10 years, or after 5 years. But that effort is very important. Now, if we take some real life examples, like Thomas Edison. Now, Edison sir failed 10,000 times before inventing an electric bulb. Now, we all have heard about Harry Potter. But J.K. Rowling, when she wrote this, she went to quite a lot of people and it was rejected by many, many publishing houses. Even Michael Jordan was not allowed to participate in his high school team. So it happens to each one of us. We are rejected, we are questioned, we are blamed also for many. Do this, start believing into this. I think everything is possible. So believe me, children, that today you can achieve anything and everything in life. Start believing in yourself, explore your passion, explore your thoughts, and go and conquer the whole world. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Anit Arora. I think it is a great perspective on growth mindset. As you rightly said, we have to build a appreciative culture in any other institution in such a way that each of the teachers, they must appreciate the effort so that results will come automatically. And it will also negate the failures on the part of the students. I think, as a concluding remark, I'd also give my advice to the student that, like the schools always give a progress report, it is individually you have to make a self-progress report, both on your personal and professional accomplishment, so that you know where you are, enhancing your skills, how you are acquiring more and more knowledge, what are the new projects that you have achieved, what is the personal life, professional life you are achieving, so that at least you are every 6 months you are trying to do something new, and it will also lead to a continuous improvement in whatever you are doing. All the best to all of you. And now over to Shivam for the next round of discussion.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, with your permission, if we can take maybe 1 or 2 questions from the audience.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think we have maintained the time of that till 12:15, so it is now at least few minutes are there. Thank you.
We'll take 1 or 2. Sir, in fact, I think the first question is coming directly to you.
Okay.
Because it is like one question is coming. Do you look into 10th and 12th marks during hiring process? So I think since you are coming from corporate background.
See, I must tell you that there are organizations, they always look at career 60%, 80% kind of thing. But personally, if you ask me, I always feel that give the opportunity to the people who are not getting the opportunity. A student may be the first in the class or last in the class, he must get the opportunity, because everybody has got a natural talent and scarce skills. The job of the recruiter is to identify the natural talent and the scarce skills so that everybody get a fair chance. It is not only the marks. Marks is like a mathematics, but if you look at whether it is the organization or whether it is political avenue, it is not about the arithmetic, it is the chemistry. So it is not only the scores, but the scores are absolute, ratings are relative. Similarly, scores are important, But I think what kind of value addition, what is the interest and aptitude of the individual, how he can add value in the organization is extremely important.
Okay, sir. Maybe one more question. In fact, this question, if we can have, a small input from all of you. This question is like, there is a lot of discussion which is happening on development of mind and body, that is mental and physical development. What are the different activities which different schools are taking for the same? Because it helps a lot for de-stressing and growing confidence. So, sir, Panda sir, if you can request.
Yeah, I think Dr. Banerjee and Dr. Paul can anybody or Mr. Anit also, anybody can come. Yeah.
Actually, the stress now is more. All the institutions, our NEP is also focusing on it. That is on meditation, and there yoga plays a very important role. And yoga has become now it's part and parcel of our system. And definitely it is helping, because when we are involving the children in a group, so it's again it's the collaboration which is taking place among the students. They are doing it together, and that is helping them to calm their minds. So yoga is definitely going to help the students, the challenges what they are facing now in this world, because it's just not the within the class, it's outside the class. So their yoga is playing a very important role in solving solving the issues to a certain extent. I'll not say that it's 100%, but definitely it is helping.
May I?
Yeah, Dr. Banerjee, you can.
I'll just add on a few to the list. Definitely, the things that is almost obsolete from all the schools, all the colleges, universities. In order to tame the mind, you need to train the mind. And in order to train the mind, I think it's still the best skill to read. Read as much as you can. Because until unless you read, trust me, it is not going anywhere. More you read, the variety of materials, no matter what you read, there is no such good reading, bad reading, mediocre reading. More and more you read, more and more you are exposed to the books and articles, which enhances your vocabulary, your comprehension, and your critical thinking. The moment when you start reading, a whole new world's door will open. And trust me, only a mobile and a Google is not going to help. They have their own limitations. A little bit of puzzles and brain teasers also important. Learning a musical instrument to some extent, to a majority of the student, it helps. It still controls the mind. Say, in order to sit quietly and do the meditation, it is still a process. In that process, if you really want to bring your mind in, try to learn at least one musical instrument. Art and creativity also a part of it. Sir already mentioned the most important aspect that is going on throughout the country, that is mindfulness and meditation, which will go right at the top. Then the strategy games. I'm pretty sure the students, they love games. And I am all in for games, trust me. Be it the electronic games, be it a chess, be it a strategy game. More and more you engage yourself. In this way, you can cover two parts. One is you can definitely find the true value of a teammateship, companionship, and definitely you can build up a proper strategy. Then comes the debates and discussions. In our conversation when we were going on, I told the value of talking. More and more you discuss, more and more you talk. All the things, those are lying inside. And this is also a very important tool to instill a positive mindset growth. And finally, it's the need of the hour, the coding and the programming. Slowly and gradually, all the schools are taking coding and programming into the mainstream of their schools. So have we. That is also going to help. I just wanted to add these points along with this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Because of paucity of time, because a lot of questions are coming, so we won't be able to take much questions. In fact, one question is coming directly to the chamber. It is like some of them are requesting to hold more sessions in a physical mode so that they can have more interaction. Actually, the problem is in physical sessions, it becomes very difficult for people from different places to come together and share their insights. Right. So today the session is so rich because we are having input from people who have participated from different places. And so we are able to share experiences from different places. So, but definitely we will be trying to organize some physical sessions also. So with this, with the permission of Mr. Panda, we would like to close this session. So thank you so much, Prakash sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Paul, for joining. Thank you, Dr. Banerjee, and thank you, Mr. Arora. It had been wonderful listening to all of you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Shivam
Thank you,
Bengal
sir.
Chamber, and all the
Uh,
panelists. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So with this, we move to the next panel discussion. This panel discussion is on managing distractions. And with us, we have Mr. K.R. Sriram, who is the founder of K.R. Sriram and Company. Mr. Sriram will be moderating this session. Welcome, sir. Sir, you are on mute.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for joining. Mr. Sriram is also a very senior member of the Entrepreneurs Committee of Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and he is very actively involved in development of entrepreneurship ecosystem, as well as he very frequently connect with academia and has helped a lot of schools and colleges with development of mindset activities, both for academia in general as well as for entrepreneurship. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
With us in the panel, we have Ms. Sudeshna Sengupta, the senior history teacher from Birla High School, Kolkata. Welcome, Ms. Sengupta. Ms. Sengupta, if you can check your audio and video, please.
I think this Vijay
Yeah, is there.
Yes,
Yeah, welcome, ma'am.
good morning to all of you present here. The discussions I heard so far, that was very, very interesting and motivating from all of you who shared.
Thank you for sharing.
Very motivating.
With us, we have our next panelist, Mrs. Hemashri Datta, Principal of Sterling International School, Kolkata. Welcome, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to congratulate BCCI for organizing such beautiful workshops, much needed actually at this present hour, and having me in this, most importantly, and
Thank you so much,
looking
ma'am.
forward to very concrete and like meaningful discussions.
Thank you so much, ma'am. With us in our panel will be joining Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi Kumar, Principal of Asian International School, Howrah. Welcome, ma'am.
Namaskar to everybody, and it is indeed a pride and privilege as well to be a part of such an enriching panel, and looking forward to some nice discussions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Now, I request Mr. Sriram, if you can kindly take forward the session. Over to you, Mr. Sriram.
Thank you, Shivam. Thank you. Welcome all. I think we have a wonderful panel of, I will say highly recognized academicians between various schools in Calcutta. Thank you so much for sparing your time. Today's topic, as you would all be aware, is managing distraction. Just to set the ball rolling, I would just take a few minutes before I get your individual views and then take it forward. First of all, once I got this topic, I was trying to look at the dictionary meaning of the word distraction, which says it is that a thing that prevents someone from concentrating on something else. That is the dictionary meaning of the word distraction. And also a particular thing which struck me because I was watching a movie pretty recently. There was this girl who had a stage fright. She could not on the stage. There is a counselor who kind of is the background noise. Background noise. Yeah, thank you. So there was this girl who had a stage, and Peter? Hello. Yeah. So there is a noise coming from. Yeah, so I was back to that a girl who had a stage fright, and the advising her that whenever
I think there is some voice disturbance. Yep.
where is it coming from? By any chance from me?
No, sir. You're fine. Like people who are not speaking, they can keep their audio on mute. Then I think that will be better.
So, to look at the topic avoiding disruptions. So this is a basic, kind of background that I would want to start. So in this regard, I would take this opportunity to welcome first Ms. Vijayalakshmi to share her open remarks or thoughts on this, and then we can take it forward.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sriram, and once again, a very warm afternoon to all of you. And of course, the lovely audience, who are majority of them, I'm sure, are children. And I am also convinced that the parents also might be sitting next to them, because this is a wonderful session wherein not only the students but also the parents are going, I'm sure they have felt enriched by this time. So I would, with permission, I would like to begin with a small excerpt from a book which reads as, one early spring day, I was driving along a highway over a mountain pass in Colorado when a snow flurry suddenly blotted out the car a few lengths ahead of me. As I peered ahead, I couldn't make out anything. The swirling snow was now a blinding whiteness. Pressing my foot on the brake, I could feel anxiety flood my body and hear the thumping of my heart. The anxiety built to full fear. I pulled over to the side of the road, waiting for the flurry to pass. A half hour later, the snow stopped, visibility returned, and I continued on my way, only to be stopped a few hundred yards down the road, where an ambulance crew was helping a passenger in a car that had rear-ended a slower car in front. The collision blocked the highway. If I had continued driving in the blinding snow, I probably would have hit them. So probably when we talk about distractions, distraction is nothing but a conflict between an emotional mind, rather a feeling mind, and a thinking mind. I'm sure we would be very happy to enrich ourselves with this statement that all of us possess a feeling mind and a thinking mind. And whenever the balance between these two minds is lost, we are distracted. That is, to me, that is what is distraction. And if we are not careful, we are going to, there would be, snow all around us. And the snow is nothing but the distraction. Now, there is this saying that you can always find a distraction if you look for one. This was said by Tom Kite. And dear children, dear audience, life is full of opportunities, and these opportunities will always have distractions. These opportunities will always try to drive away the latent energy that we all possess, isn't it? And there was a time, there is a story by Gaur Gopal Das wherein this employee wanted to leave his organization because he felt that he was getting distracted because of the gossips, the politics, the things that he never wanted to indulge into. So he went to the HR head and he told the HR head that I want to resign with immediate effect. The HR head took it very, very calmly, and she replied that of course you can do that, because the free will concept is available with each one of us. But then she requested him to do a small exercise, and the small exercise was, he was supposed to move about the entire office with the help of a glass filled with water up to the brim, and he was requested to ensure that not even a drop of the water was spilled over the floor. He thought that if this makes the part of an exit formality of this organization, let me meet and let me exit from here peacefully. So he took 3 laps of the entire office by following the suggestions made by the HR head. When he came back to the HR head, the head asked him, rather told him that, do you realize that not even a drop of water has been spilled over? He said, yes, I do realize, and now you have to meet my exit formalities. The HR head said that you did not spill a drop of water because your focus was on the glass and not on the people who are around you. All right. So children, when we talk about distractions, especially in your age, I think the first thing that comes to everybody's mind is a device, which could be, various apps which keep you away from the focus, from the target that you have thought of meeting years later, months later, so on and so forth. All right, but it's not just the device, it is also the various events, the various kind of people that you come across. A school especially is a reflection of a micro society. All right, so you will have children coming from, if the school has a strength of let's say 1,000 students, there are children coming from 1,000 different kinds of houses, 1,000 different kinds of families, which have their own constellation, which have their own dynamics. It is up to you how you are going to ensure that you are not absorbed into the distraction, rather you meet your target. Every day when you step out of the house, you have a fixed target that I'm going to go to school only, and there is a particular school you're coming to. All right, so you are not distracted. Straight, you are getting into either the school bus or the carpool or the public transport or your own vehicle, and you're coming to school. So it's very important that we as students, in fact, we as elders also, we focus on what we have targeted, we have aimed to achieve. All right, and there are certain things, it's very important that if you have already got into a distraction, which could be an emotional distraction also, which could be a device or a gadget oriented distraction also, it is very important that you come out of it, and it is not easy to do so. You can do it by maintaining this 1% law. Every day, bit by bit, you have to break this habit. It is not so easy to break an old habit. So the first thing you can do is to stock out your own habits. See, you have to be aware that self-awareness is very important, that yes, I am in the clutches of something that is keeping me away from my target. If you wish to appear for an entrance examination, and I would not mention JEE and NEET alone, I would also talk about CLAT. These days, CUET is also there. And there are series of, NCET also has been introduced. Series of entrance examinations are there, which help you not only to focus on board examination, but there is an opportunity beyond that. A little while ago, I heard a question that, do you see the marks of such and such examination? So beyond these examinations also, the current scenario is allowing you an opportunity to explore the world, explore a good college, even if you have not been able to fare well in your class 12 examination. So the first thing to do away with the distraction is to list down the habits that you feel have added to your distraction or have raised your distraction level. So it's very important that you stock the habits, you reduce the exposure. There are always stimulants and cues which bring you, the minute the mobile comes up with a beep, ting, you have an urgency of, leaving behind everything. And in the fear of missing out on something very important, you miss out on something that is absolutely inevitable for you, and that is your career. So reduce the cues, ensure that it is unattractive. Any distraction should be made to look unattractive. All right, and here comes the responsibility of home environment also. Each one of us, we generally we imitate either the close ones or the many ones what everybody is doing, I have to do, or the powerful ones. All right. So it's very important that the people, the members in the family who are very close to children, they set the right benchmark, they set the right kind of environment for these students to imitate. And then, the many and the powerful will automatically be, I think, taken away from their lives. With this, there is this very beautiful saying which reads like this, that you can't do big things if you are distracted by small things. So choose your priority, ensure that you meet your target. And when I say meet your target, doesn't mean that you have to crack an entrance examination. That's not the benchmark of happiness. That's not the benchmark of being successful also. A nerd now can turn out to be a boss of an office 10 years later. All right, so we have those examples also. Keeping all of that in mind, I wish that you follow these points, and I would like to rest my voice here. Thank you for the opportunity provided. Thank you, Mr. Sriram. Over to you.
I would now request Mrs. Datta, Himashri Datta, Principal of Charlene, to address, to give her opening remarks. But just before that, one small example I would want to say regarding distraction that I think Mrs. Kumar so finely put it. I was reading an interview of Mr. Madhavan, who is a famous actor. His son is one of an international swimmer in the junior. So he was asked, how do you maintain, that the child is focused, you being in Bollywood, one of the most successful. So Mr. Madhavan's wife made a statement saying that, my son knows only two things, studies and swimming. Other than these two, he does not know anything. And we ensure that he need not know anything. I mean, this is exactly the words of, Mrs. Madhavan, which goes to prove that what, focused minds can do. So with that, I would request, Mr. Datta to, Mrs. Datta to give her opening comments. Hello. Unmute yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Sriram. And once again, a warm afternoon to all the panelists and the audience, who must be students and parents and other dignitaries as well. So I would like to take up from where our previous panelist, Vijayalakshmi ma'am, has left us. And that was such an insightful, session given by her. She has always focused on the distractions that students are facing from gadgets, from the present distractions, the present scenario the students are facing from use of technology and all the things, and also emotional distractions. Apart from that, what I feel most importantly, students are also distracted, and most importantly, they are misled and confused when it comes to choice of career, choice of choosing the subject combination right from the early days of their career. Like if we take an example from class 9 standard onwards, there is a option of choosing between basic and standard mathematics from CBSE board. I'm talking particularly about CBSE board. So there we find that most of the students, they struggle to choose whether they should go for the basic mathematics or the standard mathematics, because they are not having the right kind of focus. The same type of problem we face when they are supposed to choose their subjects in the class 2 level. There also, there is a more or less obsession or demand for choosing or going for science stream. Especially this problem is very much pertinent in this part of the country, in our state especially, I would say. There is a craze or obsession for opting for science subjects. And students, most of the time, they try to, take over such subjects for their career, which they are doing totally unaware of their own strengths. They don't know what are their strengths, which are the areas of their weaknesses, what are their opportunities, what are their threats. They are most of the time misled due to parent pressure, peer pressure, and other societal pressure as well. And this happen to form a wrong notion of career development, of career building. They all feel that only, going after few competitive exams, passing few competitive exams and the board examinations, seeking good marks. That is the only way they can actually, go for lucrative career or something like that. So from this challenge comes up another second bigger challenge where we find the schools are generally facing is that students have become reluctant to attend schools nowadays, especially in the senior secondary grade. We find attendance has become very poor, and the dummy schools and the coaching centers, like which are giving coaching for various entrance examinations, competitive examinations after the class 2 levels, students are more keen to attend those classes more than the schools. In fact, the scenario is as such that some of the coaching centers, they are having their classes right in between the school hours, where school students are deliberately missing the school's classes, and they are even reluctant to attend the practical classes conducted in the schools. In that way, what I feel, students are actually missing the link. They are trying to build up a stone castle on a base of sand, which is eventually going to crash down. They are not aware of it. I can give a small example. There was a student this year itself who has cracked the most difficult exam, we can say, IIT, and he has landed into IIT Kharagpur from our school. That child was one of the most regular child who used to come to school every day. And after clearing his exams, he just came to our school, and he in fact confessed to all of us that it was the practical classes that he attended in the schools, and the teachers, the way they have explained the concepts in the practical classes, that helped him in the long run to go and face the competitive exam even at the JEE advanced level. So that is the scenario, and what I feel that this is where the gap is very much existing, and the roles of schools have become very much diminished. So this is a major point of what we can say distraction. What we feel the students are facing. It is not only that the other distractions are coming. This main factor is that the distraction that is coming from this type of students are not, concentrating on the right type of path. That's why this type of other distractions that is coming from the gadgets or other distractions that is coming from the emotional front they are facing, because they are not having their own dreams. They are not having the real focus. They are not allowed to dream for themselves. They are actually living the dreams of others. That must be the dreams of their parents. Sometimes the dreams, that are being imposed upon them by societal and peer pressure. So I would like to leave it up to there, Mr. Sriram, so that we can carry forward with the next part of the discussion.
Thank you for your insights. You made an interesting point saying that possibly my interpretation is right, that confusion leads to distraction. I can put it in a one-liner. So, with this, I would request Ms. Sengupta to address, to give her opening remarks before we go into, certain other aspects of it. Ms. Sengupta.
A very good afternoon to all of you. Thank you, sir. And as I continue, distractions are actually when we are concentrating more on emotions, and the emotions lead us to distract ourselves. Secondly, there are devices presently, actually after the online sessions that continued for so long, the boys are very distracted with the devices, different kinds of devices, and they are too much dependent on these devices instead of concentrating on the real study material. Means study material they can get from devices also, but they are getting distracted with that. Instead of concentrating on certain facts, they are looking into other aspects which are not meant to see. And thirdly, I have seen in the classrooms, there is, when they are not interested, they start talking among themselves. But of course, we have control. But this I have discovered that there are parents who want that their son or daughter should take up only science. Maybe that boy is not good at it. Maybe he does not want to concentrate on physics, chemistry, mathematics, or biology. He wants to concentrate on humanity subjects. So here, the distraction, the force that they get from the parents distract them. And later on, it happens that they are not successful with science. So when they go to the class 12 level, maybe I have seen children, boys and girls, they even cannot go to class 12, they fail because they have taken the wrong combination. And here the parents have influenced them. But here the parents also play a very important role, not to pressurize their children by their own thoughts that my son or my daughter will do well in science, go for IITs, go for certain other institutes, maybe very renowned. And this, I just still remember, this boy, later on in class 11, when he failed, he took up humanities. So you can understand 1 year was lost due to that. So after taking up humanities, he started doing up very well. And later on, now I know he is an ex-student. He has gone up and he has become a lawyer. He is doing very well in life. So it is, distractions take place when you are not given your own choice. That is the time the parents and the child and the teacher also here can advise. Also, there are certain classroom activities which might distract a child, that okay, I don't want to, means not being able to do that. There, I think it is our duty to find out what does the child want actually. And here I will also give importance to the co-curricular activities. Since I am also connected a lot with the co-curricular activities, I have seen the students of the present times, they take a lot of interest in the co-curricular activities, and curricular and co-curricular activities should not be separated. They can go hand in hand. Yes, we should not be too much influenced with certain things particular, but both of them go hand in hand, and with the co-curricular activities, they are actually being able to do well in academics. This has been found out. I have myself seen this. Because a good debater, a good quizzer is also a good dancer, or a good sportsman, means a boy or a girl who is playing, doing all these physical activities very well. They are also very good in academics. So these two go hand in hand, and that is, we have to integrate with the curricular and the co-curricular activities together, so that the child grows up to be a very successful individual. So these distractions, when it comes in the way of the student, he or she doesn't want to grow up to that, he cannot grow up to that level of his expectations. His expectation is something else. And this, the schools now have encouraged a lot in both the activities, curricular as well as co-curricular, going hand in hand. Then I have also we found out in our school also, that the yoga, which is very important, nowadays, after climbing, after the online classes have ended, climbing one stair, they feel very tired, and then they get distracted when they go back to their class after their break time. So this also, it has been seen that in our school we have this yoga. It is something very good, by which the mind concentration is there. The mind and body is working together at the same level. that is the time when distractions can be totally ended. And step by step, actually, we are the ones, we have to find out why this child has got distracted. What is the reason behind it? Here, the counselors also help us, of course, counselors of the school. And another thing I would like to suggest here is that the classroom, at times it happens that the classroom size, that is, there are many students in one class. So our school, what it has done is, they have divided up between many sections. So if we have a large number of students in one class, it is difficult for the teacher to concentrate in one-on-one basis. That also leads to distraction. So if we divide it accordingly, then it will be much better. And the peer pressure is a form of distraction. That is, their friends, their parents, friends influence, some of the friends, they influence in such a way that a child, a student who is very good in academics, in other activities, he gets distracted and he wants to become like them. He wants to become a hero. So by following all the wrong activities, and his mind is that time concentrating on those wrong activities so that he can become a hero, and he gets distracted of means how to achieve it. And that is the time his results also go bad. And this is peer pressure and parents' pressure that I talked about in the beginning itself, that is there. So at that time also, the parents can also be counseled. We have counselors, the parents can also be counseled for regarding this matter, that not to get distracted and give a particular side to your emotions and a particular side to your concentration level. Concentration level, if it is high, then the distractions will not come. Then a child will be totally concentrating on how to progress for the better. And this will lead him to, for his career growth as well as his co-curricular, and he will get into good institutions later on. Of course, in colleges and the other higher institutes, the same thing applies. When we concentrate our mind and we keep the emotions to a certain level. As human beings, emotions will come. It is nothing unnatural. But we have to train up our mind. That is, the children. They have to learn this, not to be dominated by emotion. This is another very important area where they are, when they get influenced by some movies, by some actor, they are so much that thinking is there in their mind. They cannot concentrate on their academics. So this also is actually an area of distraction. So that is what I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sengupta, now for your opening comments. Now, based on the opening comments, and on my notings, I think the basic thing that is emanating is that, the major cause of distractions are mainly like what Vijayalakshmi ma'am said, is about a clash of minds, so to speak, causing distractions. And Ms. Hemlata madam was mentioning about confusions leading to distractions. And Ms. Sengupta ma'am was mentioning about, emotions. But a couple of things that I can take common among all three of you is that one is somewhere the devices which the present day generation kids are using is one source of distraction. That's one point. And the second point is about the parental peer pressure and other pressures which leads to distraction. Now, on this note, let me take the second nature of distraction at the beginning, and I would request Mrs. Vijayalakshmi ma'am to give an idea about how her school and she herself and her teachers are handling this.
Thank you for this question. you will not believe there are times and periods where we have taken one-on-one session with more than 100 parents also, because the minute you say that in our opinion we have tracked the progress, academic progress of the child, and the child is not suitable, or mathematics is not suitable for the child, we put it in a reversed way. Child is suitable to do everything, he has the capability to do everything, but there are certain subjects, certain domains which are not meant for everyone. So the minute we place, the first reaction is that, as though the sky has fallen down already, and the parents feel zapped. The first reaction is that my child will not, it's the end of the road. They observe it as the end of the road. So then we follow counseling. We show them the various subjects that CBSE, fortunately, all three of us who are on this panel, we are from CBSE board, and board offers not less than 40 subjects which are skill based subjects. All right, so these days you must have noticed that there is a change in the trend, and skill based subjects are becoming a mainstream subject. And fortunately, there was a time when board would tell us that out of 5 academic electives, it is mandatory to take academic elective subjects only. But the norm has been changed, and of late, board allows a child to take as many as 3 academic electives out of 5. So in this scheme, a child is supposed to take up a language. He can take up another language at +2 level, or he can take up an academic elective, which is compulsory. And the rest of the 3 subjects can be a skill-based subject, which could be anything related to mass media, which could be even related to beauty and wellness. We have such subjects also. And these subjects are not only offered to 11th and 12th, but also to 9 and 10, and also to 6 to 8. This year, board has taken a wonderful initiative of offering as many as 19 to 20 subjects to classes 6, 7 and 8. The beauty is that the child's name is registered on board's portal, and after due completion of these academic skill-based subjects, they will be getting a reward of a certificate, e-certificate, coming from Ministry of Education and CBSE. So we are introducing, as a school, as educationists, we are a connect between the government policies, CBSE, and parents and children. Sometimes, with due regards to many of the schools, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of preparation from our end. When the more you introduce, the more you need to prepare from your end as a school. So we have taken up, and schools like us have taken up this plunge. We educate not only the children, but also the parents. And in our CBSE, there is a learning outcome associated with everything that we do. So we show the parents the future of what we are doing, or what their children have been asked to do. So if a child takes up beauty and wellness, let's say in class 6, he can always take up coding next year. He can always take up AI next year. So by the time he passes out class 12, he will have 4 to 5 skill-based subject orientation, if not an expertise. And jack of all trade is much required in the current scenario. You must have seen that if the government and NEP has allowed students to take up 2 parallel graduation degrees, there is a motive behind it. We have to be at par with the global standards. And if a student has, let's say, I have students this year, they have taken admission in Xavier, they are doing BSc Microbiology honors, and at the same time, they have enrolled with IIT Madras for an online course on coding and AI. So this is giving them an edge, and this is something very, very beautiful, a very beautiful approach initiated by the government, the policy makers, and CBSE. And of course, these institutions like AICTE and IITs, they are all coming forward to upskill and take the standard of our country to a different educational standard of our country to a different level altogether. So we counsel, it's very important. Many a times we don't know that we don't know. There is a cycle, and there could be 4 situations. I do not know that there is something called cycle that exists on this earth, and I may continue to walk every day for 5 miles. Now, there is a cycle. That cycle has been put in front of me, but I don't know how to use it. And there could be a situation wherein I don't have the interest. So as a school, it is very, very important that we first educate our teachers, because sometimes even teachers also have a block in the mind that more subjects, meaning more work, meaning more of paperwork also. So we have to first educate and have enthused teachers. Then we have to take this information forward to the parents. Sometimes we just issue a circular and we leave it at that. There is always a gap, when I send you a message in writing and when I talk to you. So this gap has to be somewhere, I feel it has, as a school and as school principals, we have to fill up this gap, educate the teachers, educate the parents, and then come to the children. Otherwise, 360-degree approach, probably there would be a shortfall over there and the entire purpose may get defeated. I hope I could answer your question, Mr. Sridhar.
Thank you, ma'am. I would now request Hemlata ma'am to throw some light about her school and how we are handling. With just one more addition. What Vijayalakshmi ma'am said about counseling. Because I believe still in certain parts and with certain parents, counseling is still considered a taboo. So how do you come out of that also? I'll come back to you, Vijayalakshmi ma'am. I'll come back to you. Because this is also a very important thing. If you tell a parent, son, doctor needs some counseling, the first reaction of the parent is, there was nothing wrong with my son. That's a typical reaction I've seen because I have had interactions with children in various levels. So that is the first thing that happens. So this
Thank you, Mr. Sriram, for that question altogether. Yes, you are very right in saying that, yes, there is a taboo regarding counseling. Whenever we have said to a parent, this is the reaction we have got, that why counseling? Why my child needs a counseling? And so how we overcome this is that counseling, the concept that we try to tell them, is not about somebody having any mental disorder or somebody suffering from any sort of, setback mentally or something like that. Counseling is something that we all need in our lives at various levels. That is how we tell the parents. And this is very normal for every school in today's day to have counseling sessions, be it in the form of orientation, be it in the form of group sessions, or in one-to-one individual counseling sessions, times and times with the child in requirement of it, and also with the parents. When it comes to this choice of career, since this is our topic, when we counsel the parents, it is very important that we counsel them during the process of admission and when they are choosing the subjects. When a parent, suppose, enters for the admission and they comes to my office, the first thing I want to do is I want to talk to the child. We generally ask the child that what are your interests, why you want to opt for science. Most of the time they come with grades which are, we feel, as to be not very appropriate for the child to take up science subject for his next level. But in spite of that, as I've already told, that there is obsession towards science, and maybe the scenario of our state is responsible for that. The easy availability of career, even every parent thinks that if my child will have a engineering career, at least something or the other can be done. Every other career is elongated, and there is no to some end to that. So that's why most of the students are aligned towards science. So that's where we need counseling. Counseling is very important. So we times and times do it. And when we talk about skill subjects that ma'am was mentioning, I totally align with her on that, because this introduction of skill subjects is really helpful, because this vocational thing is now a must in the curriculum. And NEP 2020, which is actually a very empowering tool at this moment for all the schools, for the entire education sector. So with the help of all the elements of NEP 2020, it is becoming much easier for the schools to address such issues. Like the skill subjects in our school, like very recently we have conducted a workshop where we took up various skill subjects. We could not introduce such skill subjects at this moment in the middle school level till now, but we have conducted a very small workshop of 3 days duration where we took up a few skill subjects where students actively participated, took interest in those skill subjects, and parents were also invited, where all of them got to see what the children can do. Like we took up mass media, we took up block printing, we took up a topic where the doctor isn't around. Then what should you do? We took up a topic on AI. We also took up another topic on food preservation, like how you were supposed to preserve your food. These are all the topics, these are all skill subjects that CBSE is trying to bring into the curriculum. So now the education system is such that it is no more extracurricular, or it is not even co-curricular. Everything has become a part of the curriculum. It is a holistic approach that we have to now bring into the system, and also the ways of teaching, how we deliver the teaching, what will be the exact way of pedagogical deliberations. That is very important. Like two very powerful elements are there in NEP 2020, which was always there actually, but now with the pen and paper and the denominations that has come through the policy document, this has become very much essential for all schools to follow, and we are religiously doing it. One is experiential learning that we are following in the classrooms, and another is the interdisciplinary approach. These are the two things we are deliberately doing, and it should be a must practice in all the schools. To tell a little bit more elaborately about experiential learning is nothing. Experiential learning is something, a learning where the student gets a real-time experience inside the classroom, outside the classroom, may it be in the form of a field trip or any other form of activity done by the teacher in the class, where students get involved in such a manner that they learn from the process itself, and such a learning actually retains in their long-term memory forever. So this type of learning, this type of pedagogical deliberations, this type of deliveries we should inculcate in the schools now and then, right now, and then only the students will start retaining their interest in the school, which is they have started losing. As I made my initial points, like students are losing interest in coming to school. They have lost their faith in the school system itself, it seems. Most of them are running after the dummy schools, and they are having this farm belief. They not only their parents as well. The farm belief is that the way of cracking those competitive exams is by attending classes in the coaching institutes and dummy schools. And schools will not be able to help them to reach that destination. So we have to break that down. We as educators from the schools only, we are the ones, we cannot give up to this situation. We should now take hold of the situation, and I think we should all come together so that once again students start taking interest in the school, the way the teachings we give, and we can bring that them to school, which is very, very important according to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Henushri ma'am. Sudesh Sengupta ma'am, your views on this, and you can address both the things that I said about career counseling being a taboo counseling. I will not say career counseling being a taboo, and generally how your school has been managing this, parental pressure, peer pressure in managing distraction.
Is this question for me?
Sengupta Suneshna ma'am has not yet voiced.
Okay. I'll take that.
And I'll go back to Vijayalakshmi ma'am for her comments on that counseling issue.
Okay. I'll take that question, sir. As you said, like how we are handling the, peer pressure. Yes, sir.
This let Sudeshna ma'am first answer, or give, and then we will go back. Sudeshna ma'am, please.
Yes. The peer pressure, the parental pressure that we are facing, not only that we sit with the counselors, the parents are counseled, the child is counseled, but here what we do is the teacher, there is a specific date when we call those parents who are whom we think they have to we have to have interactions with them. And of course, there are sessions when the whole class, the parents come and we speak on particular topics, so that the child, the distractions that he is facing with with this process, it comes to an end. And now the NEP 2020, as the other two speakers have already spoken, the CBSE schools are taking a very important step regarding this, that is introducing the skill subjects, which the other speakers have also talked about. We have also done that. And also, that is in the class 10 level, there is, suppose there are students who are finding social science difficult, so they take up painting. So that is also there. So here, this has actually given them a boost that they can concentrate on something else, some other subject, so that they don't have to go on with a subject which they are not being able to cope up. So here CBSE has played a huge role, and the schools are following it very, very well. And also we have introduced the AI, that is artificial intelligence, which is leading us forward. And there are workshops that teachers have attended where it is concerned with the AI, and we are being able to implement that in classrooms. We are showing certain AI, and they are being able to understand different subjects at their level best. And the interdisciplinary project that just now Ms. Datta has talked about, that is also something which we have implemented, that is integrating different subjects together. So there is something called subject enrichment, where we are a chart is made, or maybe projects are made, where different 2 or 3 subjects are linked up, and the students are made to do these interdisciplinary projects, which helps them a lot, integrating many subjects together. So these are some of the ways by which we can manage the distractions in the class, because online mode has for a long time been our way of teaching. Now we have come out of it, but the students are still, they are in that mode, from where we have to bring them to this situation that now they are in the offline mode, and not to be so much imbued in all these online so much. A very important thing is dialogue. Sharing dialogue is very important. The teacher-student dialogue that takes place is very important, because unless and until we make face-to-face dialogues, the real aspect will never be understood by the student. So that is what I had to say.
Thank you, Suruchna ma'am. Just to give a perspective, I will just have the second second hint, which has come out of the earlier discussions, and then we will have the closing, because we are slightly running out of time, I guess, and then we will open it. My second thing is relating to the devices, which was being considered as one of the points of distraction. Now, just the perspective, I would just want to make it slightly more, controversial, so to speak. Sometime before the COVID, there have been discussions on various platforms whether there is a requirement to have an age limit for devices to be used by children. This was a device, because I had participated in few forums and discussions prior to the COVID, because COVID changed everything. Now, I would want your reactions to it and your thought process on that. If I can start with Vijayalakshmi ma'am, you can answer the first counseling thing, and then get to your views on the device and making it mandatory, like there are election age, etc. So there has to be a device age.
Thank you so much, sir. So my first question is, let us understand that, and I'll keep it short. Before counseling, there is a prior step, and that is talking and communication. So, since counseling has a lot of taboo associated with it, as Ms. Sudeshna Sengupta mentioned, that there has to be a dialogue between all the stakeholders. And when we talk about stakeholders, teachers stand at the, they are at the axis, then come the children, and then the parents. So there has to be a talking, and to talk, you don't need to be. How many of us are counselors? Don't we talk with our family members? So, the first thing that needs to get into our minds and our school culture is that we have to talk to the parents and answer to the queries. There are times when there are no queries, even then we have to explain it to them that why there is this action that has been taken by the school and why and how you can support us. When we have introduced skill-based subjects, very beautifully during a PTM, we explained the parents that this is the learning outcome, something that I shared a little while ago. So you tell me, which parent will deny to such an initiative wherein the child is getting an e-certificate from Ministry of Education? Who amongst us doesn't want those credits and those certificates? Number one. Number two, you're talking about devices. Had the device not been there in our hand, and in the children's hand, more importantly, this webinar would not have been a success. So it is the same device, same technology that can give you, that has the potential to give you an edge over many of, let's say the example that I gave you a little while ago, that a student has enrolled into microbiology honors in Xavier's, and parallelly he has got himself enrolled for a MOOC also, which is through IIT Madras. All right, so it is the same device that is giving them, it is working as a blessing for them, working as a beautiful tool for them to ascend in life. And for each one of us, why them? For each one of us, the business model, if you talk about mothers, I have a friend who runs this company by the name of Career After Family. All right, so it's basically meant for women who are on the other side of the age. They have met their basic responsibilities and who have been so-called homemakers. We are also homemakers. We don't break homes. We are homemakers too. We have an additional responsibility of working in a professional place as well. So, all these businesses and many of these businesses have taken a different level because of device. Yes, as far as age limit is concerned, I would reiterate that, children most importantly imitate from the close, from many, and from powerful. So these three factors, if we keep in mind, so the closest people who are there in the vicinity of the children are the teachers, the parents, and the friends. So if these people can be controlled, especially the parents and the teachers, I think the menace that is being created out of device can definitely be controlled. In my opinion, this is not a disturbance. Rather, how to choose the device is definitely a matter of discretion, and this is something we need to make our children aware of. There would be larger distractions in life in terms of device, emotions, people, situations, so on and so forth. We cannot take away those situations from them just like that. It's a matter of habit. We have to train them, as somebody in the last panel had said, that train to tame. So if taming is the desired goal, training should be the effort. Thank you so much.
Thank you, your insights, and it was really, heartening to note what you have been mentioning. Basically, that's where, the whole topic of today's discussion, managing disruptions, which we can say that managing disruptions being part of the device distraction will also come. So I will now request, Himashri ma'am to give her views on this. Himashri ma'am, you're on mute. Yeah.
Yes. So according to me, devices are the prime, object of discussion at this moment, where they're the major cause of, distractions, keeping aside all the other, reasons and areas we have discussed so far. So yes, the children, they are getting majorly distracted because of the use of the device. And ma'am has rightly said, judicious use of the devices. We cannot say no to mobile phones at this moment. It is where this question that whether in what age it is appropriate, in what age it is not appropriate, actually is not valid at this point anymore. Because of COVID, we had to give these devices into the hands of the very young students. So at this moment, it was very difficult for the parents to snatch away those devices back from the students, and it is still continuing. Most of the students are still continuing to do it. So now it has become a part of our life, and it has other needful implications as well, where these devices are actually a boon to us. We can use them if used judiciously. Students also need to be told the same thing, that if these devices are used judiciously, they can actually make the most optimum use of them as well. So according to me, like they should have some major, points that they should keep in mind. Like when they are sitting for studying, even if the child is using a device, the phone should be kept aside, not along with the study table, because as a single beep of the phone, the child immediately tends to get distracted. So that is one way. They should set their goals in such a manner so that no other distractions can come in between, and they should focus properly on whatever they are trying to do. And that will come only when they have their own dreams, as I told in the beginning. Once the children have their own dreams, they will definitely chase for it. When the dreams are imposed on them, when somebody is doing the thinking for them, their parents or somebody else, that time what happens, they are not focused towards what they are doing. So the major cause of distractions is basically lack of focus, lack of real visualization of their future dreams. So that is where I would like to say that students, I would like to tell the students that they should keep in mind that their focus, they should have a concrete focus on whatever they are trying to achieve, and automatically the other distractions will fade away. Thank you.
Thank you. Sudeshna ma'am, your thought process.
Yes, I would like to say over here that devices, as the other two speakers have said, devices are today very important in our life. Without the device, it is not possible to maybe have just today also, like we are having the online discussion. This wouldn't have been possible. There are certain times when we require it, but even to see the AI. But the students, they should know that where they have to draw a line, and that just by telling them that you should not do this will not stop them. It is only when we are talking to parents, when we are talking all together, we are having a dialogue. Very important is having dialogue with the parents, having dialogue with the students. That is important. Like I am giving an example. After the onlines, when we were having a quiz competition on stage, there I had selected a student to speak as the MC, and to speak a little bit about it. So he could not. He said, but then he could not say anything. Then again he said, again he could not say anything. And he was very, very upset later on, and came and said sorry to me. So I told him, he said that yes, I was going through we were very much with the online, and now I cannot speak properly. So it is, then I told him that not only him, I tell the class that it is now high time that you choose the devices accordingly, and that time only you concentrate on that. After that, concentrate so that you can speak. And without dialogues, today anything is just impossible. Dialogue actually, it connects the human beings together. So I would like to advise the students that to draw a line between your devices and the academics, whatever you are experiencing, but just to draw a line and concentrate on what you want to do. And dialogue, very important. So sharing of dialogue, and like when we have in the classroom itself, we can have debates, we can have quizzes, by which I'm telling the students, you can interact among yourselves. Suppose a particular topic, you all can speak to each other. So this dialogue will connect you with the world outside and not be in a very narrow domestic thing. Your mind will not be narrow. You will be connected. So when you are connected means through your device, through the dialogue that you are sharing through the device, and also openly when you are having an offline mode, some discussion. So that is what I wanted to advise the students.
Thank you, Rishna ma'am. On a lighter note, I think even I have expected because possibly this is to wrap up. On that note, Shivam,
Thank you so much, sir.
Shivam, do we have 30 seconds of closing?
If you can request Hemashri ma'am, kindly, if you can put it on mute. I think some background noise is coming. Yeah, thank you so much.
If you have time, can we have 30 seconds of closing remarks from each one of them?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, sir.
I'm sorry. Just keep it short. Vijayalakshmi ma'am, starting with you, 30 seconds of closing remarks.
We have bought a car. There will be red, orange, and green lights on the road. So we have to choose, pick, apply our discretion, and we have to be wise enough. Having knowledge and having wisdom are two different things. So I would advise the children, they are especially from 9, 10, 11, 12 level. So be wise, see the light, and then drive your car. Thank you so much.
Brilliantly said. Brilliantly said. I will request Hemashri ma'am for her closing comments.
Yes, students' distractions will be there always in your life. It is not only the period of your student life. Distractions will be a part of your life throughout your life. So you need to know like where you need to draw the line. You need to choose your purpose judiciously, and you cannot ignore schools at the end of the day, because once especially for the very senior classes, the trend as it is going by, as I'm repeatedly mentioning this, students need to understand the importance of school, because school is not a place where you only get to learn academics. School is somewhere you learn values, you learn life lessons. And as with the introduction of skill subjects already, schools are planning up with such, future plans they are having. So I would like to end up by saying school is the miniature of the society. So students, please attend schools regularly, and help yourself from not being distracted in that way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hemashri ma'am. Sureshna ma'am, your comments.
Yes, students, I would like to advise you that the school is actually training us up to later on face the society. And so we have to understand what is good and what is bad for us. This I'm just saying, but that they will only understand if they practice it. So students have to practice the fact that they have to concentrate on what is important for their academics, what is important for the society, what is important for them to develop further, what is important for them to further carry on with life and not be depressed at any stage, and to be positive at all steps of life. By positivity, you can bring forth the main purpose of life. Any amount of negativity will let you down. So being positive, with a positive mind, you make a brilliant future. That is what I had to say.
Thank you, ma'am. Shivam.
Thank you so much, sir. Shriram, sir, before closing, would you like to take one audience question?
100%.
A very interesting question I can see, if you'd like to take it.
Sure. Why?
Sir, the question is, children nowadays are becoming very aggressive and sensitive. How to handle?
The question addressed to whom?
Sir, you as the moderator, you kindly take care of the question. not specifically addressed to anybody as such, just a question has come.
Okay, the question is it's a very interesting question, saying that children nowadays are becoming aggressive and gay. My personal thought on this is like what most of these panelists, being brilliant academicians in their own rights, have said. Counseling. The only way forward for all this is counseling, and more counseling, and tone them down. It can be through the school-based counseling process or through a professional counselor, because nowadays there are professional counselors available. And spot them early, spot this aggressiveness in kids early, so that you can address the issue early. I mean, the aggression can come in a kid from various reasons, for various, due to various factors, and possibly it will need a kind of a, trained mind to identify that and address that issue. I mean, this is the most important thing, because we as parents, or we as, what do you call it, soft group, towards our children, we will not be able to do justice. Like what, in the movie by MBBS, the doctor has said that if I were operating on my son, daughter, I would not move, my hands will shake. And the same thing which will happen if we try to address the issue. It's better to go to a professional help or to the school. But before that, I think most important is for most parents to understand that yes, there is an issue. Because if you don't understand that there is an issue, it will never be solved. That's my take on that.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I think there was a lot of insights which were shared. It will be beneficial for our young friends. So with this, we would request the permission to close this panel.
Thank you, ma'am, for spending your time on behalf of BCCI and on behalf of all the people who are watching it now later. Thank you so much for spending your time and giving.
Thank you so much, Sriram sir. Thank you so much, Ms. Sengupta. Thank you so much, Mrs. Datta. And thank you so much, Mr. Kumar. Thank you for joining. Have a nice weekend. Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for the wonderful opportunity given to us.
Thank you, ma'am.